Free slots and the highest payout percentage in the area. Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison. More spins, more wins, more fun. The Milwaukee Brewers prevail 9-8 and sweep the Minnesota Twins following their win on Sunday afternoon up at Target Field in the Twin Cities. So what does it all mean? The Milwaukee Brewers entering play today, just 3.5 games back of the first place Chicago Cubs, a season high watermark, 8 games over 500, and a juicy week for the Crew as they return home to American Family Field. 3 games against the last place Pirates starting tonight, 6:40 first pitch. Pre-game coverage starts at 6 after Jim, Matt, and Molly here on 100.5 ESPN. Then the Rockies come to town over the weekend, the worst team in baseball. Chance to pile up some dubs for the Brewers this week. A couple of notes from that Brewers-Twin series. The Brewers outscored Minnesota 35-14 in the 3-game series. It's the Brewers' first 3-game sweep in Minnesota since 1988, and the two teams combined for 35 hits in yesterday's game, the most this season in any MLB game. Wilde and Tausch starts right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com. 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
There aren't any Jasons 12 and under. That's a dead name.
Packers Hall of Famer, Mark Tauscher.
How many kids do you hear, hey, Marky? It might be almost to the point of Ruth.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio.
You love that name so much, you don't even go by it.
On 100.5 ESPN.
If you call me Mark, I like my name. I like my name a lot.
The ESPN Wisconsin app.
Wilde and Tausch.
And ESPN Madison on YouTube.
It's Wilde and Tausch, isn't it?
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
It is the Monday edition. The Jeff and Monroe's wedding, although I don't think Carrie and Kevin would like me to refer to it that way, was a blast edition. The congratulations on your first day of work, Paula Wilde, back into coaching. Very excited for her. I'm on my own all week edition. The I had friends who played in a baseball tournament in the greater Madison Metroplex, and lo and behold, on the outfield wall, a Wilde and Tausch banner edition. I was pretty excited to get that picture. What a great weekend edition of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and, of course, everything you need on the all-new, all-redesigned, all-free ESPN Wisconsin app, which I think I've got more than a few converts from the wedding. They all remember Tausch. Oh, it's always how I explain. So what radio show are you on? I say, are you a Packers fan? They say, yes. You remember Mark Tauscher? Oh, yeah, he's one of my favorites. Okay, well, I do the show with him every day, 9 to noon, across ESPN Wisconsin. I'm Jace Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. And in honor of the Oklahoma City Thunder winning the NBA Finals, from his undisclosed location in his Bucks championship hat, he is the Packers Hall of Famer. He is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. So you finally found out that we've had a Wilde and Tausch sign in the Spy Bass Sun Prairie Youth Baseball Association. We've had it for 5 years down there. This is the first you've heard of it? Is that accurate?
No, first of all, I thought it was on a softball diamond because I know we sponsored a team that was expertly coached by someone other than you, by Sarah.
Sarah T.
Happy belated birthday.
Yep.
To her and to
Sarah.
Ron in the Keys' wife, I think I'm supposed to say.
Yeah,
too.
Ron in the Key calling me out thinking that I needed to send Sarah on some tropical vacation. Ron, you do you. Old T, we'll do us. But I always appreciate Ron making sure everybody remembers Sarah's birthday,
So
including me.
That's not an invite to call, Ron.
well, I mean, he could call.
He can't call. He's in some tropical paradise with a bed floating over a pool. I don't know where he's at. I don't need to know where he's at, FYI. But congratulations.
Never
to him and
meet
his
your
wife.
heroes, never meet your stalkers. Yeah.
I'm still
so
mad that I met him.
So
irritates me.
I knew that we had a banner at a softball diamond, but this was a baseball tournament. I didn't know that it was also a baseball field or there's
Jason,
two
these
banners
fields are
somewhere.
they're multi-use. You got to find green space. You got to play games. So, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I thought the fence for a softball game and a baseball game might be different. That's all. So I was excited.
right.
Sid's friend
that's
Bryn was there watching her brother play in a tournament. So
All right.
I hope the Preble Futures fared well. It was a tight game from what I understand with whoever they were playing. 0-0 entering the 8th inning. So, but the sign looked beautiful throughout the entire game.
Something.
Yeah, you don't hear that very often. It was a great weekend. Jeff and Monroe.
All right, tell me about it.
Jeff
Let's
and
hear
Monroe.
about it. Yeah.
Jeff and Monroe's
First off, who
son.
paid for the wedding? Who paid for the wedding? And then let's hear about
Craig.
all of the.
Craig Thompson, also known as Scott Thompson, which is his actual name. There were some references to that during the reception. Great father of the bride speech. Held it together as he walked her down the aisle.
What made it great? Because you're going to have two opportunities more than likely in your life.
He
What
had a
made
great,
it great?
He had a great prop. He had Carrie's favorite stuffed animal from her youth that she had grown up loving, taking everywhere, and she had not taken it with her when she moved out to go to college, and then now she and Kevin being married in their home. And so he surprised everyone. Apparently it had been in storage, and he had a great little story about it. So always good to be a prop comic. He's very naturally funny, Scott/Craig. So he crushed the speech. And again, as the girls and Paula and I were discussing afterward, he did a great job of holding it together. There's no way I'm going to be able to walk them down the aisle and not cry in both instances. So the fact that he held his emotions in check and wasn't a blubbering idiot, I commend him because I will not be able to do that. But it was great. They took your picture when you came in, and then what they did, they have an artist who then would take your picture and do a watercolor of you, like not with your face, like your face is blank, because that would take forever for all the guests. But it was, first of all, kudos to her. I looked way slimmer in the painting than I did in real life, so thank you for that. And then they put it in a book, and then you signed by it. It was a brilliant idea, and Carrie's very artistic, so I understood why they did that. But talked to Jeff for quite a while. He said something that I hope resonates, and I hope lots of our fans feel this way, like Ron in the Key and everyone else. He said, I know this sounds weird, but it feels like you guys are my friends. And I said, I hope everybody feels that way.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
it was a great time.
I like that.
I still find it amazing. Okay, and there's been a lot of things that have happened in recent weeks. Jesse being recognized in the jury box, for example. Okay,
Still not over that one.
I still would like to, at some point, talk about one of our listeners who passed away, and we were mentioned in their obituary. I still, that hit me really hard that we meant that much to someone that their family chose to mention that. out and about and seeing how many people are come to when we do a show. Now, I did have to admit when Jeff asked me about attendance at the second appearance at Hard Rock Casino Rockford that we did come on a Wednesday when there was half-price lunches for seniors, and so it created the image that it was standing room only for our show, and many of them were just fans of the lunch and the nickel and penny slots, which are right nearby.
They're fans of us now.
We converted some. I did like the one guy that came and got his picture taken with Tausch and had no idea why we were there, but I think we converted him. I think he's going to join listening now because Tausch was so nice to him. But it was amazing that Jeff and Monroe, totally unconnected, other than listening to our show and playing trivia, was the father of the groom of a wedding that I attended that involved the girl's essentially big sister that they never had. I still can't get over that, the small worldness of that. And so
I'm just glad you showed up for it. That's pretty awesome that you actually went.
Again,
because we've seen this movie before.
I think I've made the policy clear.
Wow. You have the break genius has a policy, does
It's an
he?
ed policy. It's a kid policy, more accurately. But it was great. They had those. I don't want to give any free advertising because they don't sell ice cream. They do sell small bunt cakes. I won't say the name of the bakery.
Do they sell anything else?
I don't think there's nothing else that they sell.
Really well executed there, Jesse. They do have a location right by the Pickler. Shameless plug for the Pickler over on Holmgren Way. Those were delish. Dinner was great. It was really, really fun. So we had a great time, and then we hurried back early in the night to get back because Sydney had another soccer game in the morning. She was juggling both being at a wedding and playing in a soccer tournament. So kudos to her. All right, that was my weekend.
Just wait a second. Did you go to the actual ceremony?
Of course. Only a jerk would skip the ceremony.
Did you stay for the dance?
We stayed for one dance. We stayed for speeches and one dance, and we were out the door.
So you didn't stay for the dance. Just so you didn't. You stayed for one. You didn't stay for the dance.
Are we going to debate what's the most important portion of the event to go to?
You didn't stay for the dance, which is fine. Well, you left early.
You leave Packers games late second quarter also?
He leaves Bucks games. I know that.
Again, if there's a ballerina way to be picked up, yes, I do. If there's a soccer game to be played bright and early, which thank God it was, because it was about 150 degrees by mid-afternoon in our fair city. It was great. So congratulations to Carrie and Kevin. Many, 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 many happy years for you. We wish you. It was great.
Was it a plated deal? Was it a buffet?
It was plated.
It family style?
Plated.
Plated?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had the steak. Paula had the vegetarian meal.
Of course you did.
And the girls had the kids' meals.
Okay.
Which were noodles.
I think the most underrated because you really only have three options when you're at a wedding. You got plated, you got family style, and you got buffet. I do believe family style is the best. I think family style is the best option. It gives you
forces
choices.
Interaction at the
You don't
table.
have to go through. You don't have to go through and say, "Well, Jason, did you get the steak? Oh, well, Paula got the vegetarian." Da, 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 da. This way, it's like here's the food. Eat them as much as you want. Eat as little as you want. Here it is, and then you don't have to have the buffet. Oh, well, table 17. Head on up. Boom. Family style, the way to go when you're talking about efficiency of all parties when it comes to weddings. Period. Thin.
Stays hotter, also family style. We learned that. When you plate it and they're bringing it around, it's cooling off when they're bringing it around, as opposed to family style, comes straight out, boom.
And you got to put the little thing on
it.
top of it. There's more man and woman power to do it. Family style, you fire a bowl of dressing, you put a little chicken, bam, here you go. This is what you want. Take it. Oh, you need a little bit more? Oh, great. Hey, Johnny, can you hand that down here? Oh, hey, Johnny, thanks for handing the chicken. Oh, how are you doing? Conversation goes a little smoother. You bring the table together with family style. Plates, you'd sit there, you do it, and you're done. Family style brings everybody together. That's the way I would do it.
Aunt Sandy only wants one piece of chicken and a little bit of veggies. Old T wants 5 pieces of
Sandy,
chicken.
you cutting
There we
back a
go.
little bit?
Yeah, we're
Sandy,
good.
you look good. You're cutting back. Oh, good work, Sandy. Yeah.
Wait a minute. If you're having family style and there is Quick Trip chicken, because, of course, that's the only place we get our chicken, and you're passing it around and Sandy only takes one piece, you in front of the entire table are going to proclaim, just to be clear, Aunt Sandy, are you cutting back a little? Looking sleek like Gina Della.
If Sandy...
I
Let me
love
tell
the
you
fact
something.
that you're
If
trying to slim down and only taking one piece of chicken. Usually you take
If
like 5 or 6.
If Sandy is putting in good effort trying to get healthier, I want to support Sandy. Yes. Yep.
Do you
I'm not
think
going to do it
that's-
to a total stranger.
Do you find that to be
But Aunt
supportive?
Sandy, yeah. I don't know.
Oh,
how that
Sandy,
all shake
I would
out,
expect
actually.
it. I assume you're going to get 2 helpings of dessert then. Okay. Well, that's nice that you're very supportive of Sandy.
Sounds like there's plenty of bunt cakes floating
There
around.
were lots of
Red
different
velvet,
flavors.
by
too.
the way, best bunt cake. The red velvet.
They had carrots,
best bunt cake.
lemon,
Yeah, okay.
classic vanilla. It was very good.
But you had to have red velvet had to have been there.
I did not see that, but I'm not a red
No,
velvet guy.
you don't do
Everybody
a
ate
bunt
it right
cake
away.
deal without red velvet.
Yeah, you got to have it.
If you don't have red velvet,
just,
you might as well not even have
if
bunt
we
cake.
could just recap, I go to a wedding, and you have now second-guessed both the selection of bunt cakes and the style of
No, I
meal
haven't
that was delivered.
Guessed. I've generalized.
You proclaimed.
There's no second guessing.
I do declare family style is the right way to have a wedding meal. That is what happened.
I did say that,
am I
yes.
inaccurately portraying
Jason,
what has occurred?
I went. You told your stories. I thought they were great, and then I just wanted to bring it back around. This is how I would do it.
He's done nothing but second guess.
Not bad. Not as good as the first one. Do they make anything else? That was really
That is
good.
pretty good.
Well, whether you're Aunt Sandy or you're Gina Della, who is sleek, and I feel much more comfortable now talking about how good she looks because she is now branched out from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Every time I open my Instagram, I've got a lot of her talking about why she looks as good as she does.
A lot less of her. A lot less of her.
Indeed, a lot more posts, a lot less of her. And she looks great, and your windows will look great if you replace them with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Well, indeed, and it is time to upgrade those windows and/or doors. And Jason mentioned it's hot. When we talk about the wintertime, you want, the money flies out. You got a little leaky window. Well, same thing with that cold air. Keep you nice and chilly in the house. If it's time to upgrade and you don't want to spend a fortune, you just had a big wedding, and you had family style, or you had bunt cakes, and you're looking to, well, boy, I don't know. You know what? Budget's a little tighter. Pella, the best in the industry, will have a product line for every budget. Right now, you get no interest, and you just, let's say you had a big expenditure, like a wedding per se, and it's just a big chunk comes out, and you can't do anything for 2 years. Well, Pella's got you. No interest and no payments for up to 2 years. So if the plan is to wait, guess what? You can get it now and pay later. Start making those payments 2 years later. Certain restrictions do apply. This offer ends at the end of June. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
So Tyrese Haliburton ruptures his Achilles, it appears. And I only had one thought. One. I'll tell you what it was. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, here's Jeff Levering.
Thanks, Gina Della from Pella. What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Every day is beautiful because Pella installs year-round during all seasons.
It's so hard to guess that next pitch. The customizations seem endless.
And it doesn't have to be super expensive. Pella has a product line for every budget.
And if it is time for a major upgrade, rest easy by scoring no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply on 6/30/2025.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison.
Celebrate the 4th with family, friends, and unbeatable appliance deals at Brothers Maine. Our fireworks of savings on top brands like Whirlpool, plus next-day delivery, will make you ooh and ah. Visit us today and feel like family at Brothers Maine.
Sip into a flawless summer. Hey, it's KBN's Brad Nortman. Let carbless, ready-to-drink cocktails be your passport to pool parties, patio hangouts, cookouts, and pure summer bliss. Carbless is here to spark a summer of flavor and fun. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, just 100 calories, and of course, all the good vibes. From fruity flavors to refreshing fizz, Carbless stands out in a sea of same-old seltzers. See what flavors fit your summer. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com and enter to win a flawless summer prize pack today.
Morgan Wallen Live. I'm the Problem Tour 2025. Historic 2 consecutive shows at Camp Randall Stadium, Saturday, June 28th, and second show added June 29th with Miranda Lambert and Ella Langley. On sale now at uwbadgers.com.
I'ma need some whiskey glasses.
Morgan Wallen, Live 2025.
Jim Rutledge here. It's officially camping season, which means I will be using my big blue truck from Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. What does that mean? It means it's a customized buying experience. If you're an expert and you know what you want, they're happy to let you take the lead. And if you have a ton of questions, Aaron, Tyler, and the whole team at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb will make sure they can answer them all. You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
The ESPN Madison Open, presented by Coors Light, is back. On Monday, August 4th, the ESPN Madison crew is packing up our bags and teeing off at TPC, Wisconsin for a day on the links. This year's Open is benefiting Mentoring Positives, a nonprofit based right here in Madison dedicated to uplifting youth and families through mentoring, athletics, and youth entrepreneurship. The ESPN Madison Open, also brought to you by Carbless, Zimbrick Honda, Siding Unlimited, Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison, Clear Vision Pro Wash, and Vortex Optics.
Hi, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network. Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's trusted name in home improvement, does more than just top-quality roofing. They're your go-to for maintenance-free siding and energy-efficient windows, too. Ridgetop has expert credentials with leading manufacturers like Pella, James Hardie, and LP Smart Siding. For over 20 years, they delivered exceptional craftsmanship and service. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, where customer service always comes first.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Waiting to see a general surgeon? With Stoughton Health, it's always easy access, with most appointments within a week. And with over 160 insurances accepted, you're covered and in good hands. For more information, visit stoughtonhealth.com. Stoughton Health, creating excellence together.
We're on the Bucks.
We don't have any Robins now. It's Batman.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
It's just straight up Batman by himself taking on Gotham City.
Madison's home of the Bucks. 100.5 ESPN.
We'll talk to our Bucks buddy Justin Garcia coming up about the NBA Finals and Giannis and all things NBA. But first, last night...
Jason, how much gamesmanship do you think in youth sports you should use? Like with the clock, and Jesse knows this as an ump, when there's a time limit and the game is kind of, it's not even really tight. I don't have any problem. Whatever the rules are, I want you to use. And there's home plate is closed, and so we had a softball tournament in Beaver Dam. A lot of great Beaver Dam fans. We need to go up and do a remote in Beaver Dam Jesse, put that on a calendar. We need to find a time to get to Beaver Dam.
I'm literally going and doing the Dam Sports Show in Beaver Dam this afternoon. So
Ooh.
I beat you to
fantastic. A lot of good fans up in Beaver Dam. Had a nice breakfast after we got eliminated at 8 a.m. on a Sunday after a bunch of graduation parties. So, anywho, so you have an hour. Okay, there's a 1 hour. You don't start a new inning.
Sure.
And so this team is beating us up. We're down 5. Eleanor's team is down 5. This is not our 100.5 ESPN Madison. This is a different team. So down 5.
1430 ESPN Beaver Dam team.
We end up having our almost as like, all right, get done with this inning so we can reset to play the last inning because you got to start the inning before this clock starts.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we go, and we didn't probably go as fast as we should have, but we get out on the diamond, and the girl from the other team is in the batter's box. The coach yells, "Step out of the box! Step out of the box!" She steps out of the box. The clock goes. Game over. All this stuff. You run out. I thought that was IPT. Like, you're up 5. You're gonna win the game. You're gonna advance. I get it. Everybody wants to win. But we're here. We only get 3 blanket innings. I got to scrounge myself up at 6:15 in the morning to get Eleanor to warm up an hour before an 8 a.m. game on Sunday. Not real happy about that.
Clearly.
And then we're eliminated at 8:59 because this girl backs out of the batter's box before we can pitch. We'd have gotten one more round of at-bats. We'd have gotten beat. We'd have gotten knocked out. I went to set a word. It would have been fine. I didn't love it, but I have to say as a coach, it is gamesmanship. It's within the rules. What say you?
A question before I answer.
Of course.
And again, I appreciate how inconvenient the timing of the game was. But have you, in your long and storied Pat Murphy-esque career as a coach or manager, manipulated the clock at any point yourself by, like Sydney's soccer coach, for example, really good coach. When you have a lead and to use up time, because obviously they don't stop the clock for substitutions, but they stop play, he would sub a lot toward the end of the game to kind of, again, use up some clock, which is obviously counted upon to decide when the game ends. Have you ever engaged in this, as you called it, gamesmanship, before I render my decision on the appropriateness of this?
Never to that degree, no. Have we ever went and said, "Hey, take a couple extra pitches in your warm up. Make sure you're not rushing things." But no, I have never been to the point where get out of the box so that this thing ends. No.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I've seen it the other way where people are not even celebrating home runs because they have to. I never really loved the hard stop. I think it's a bad thing, or I just don't love that. I get it. You have to keep the tournaments going. So I understand it, and afterwards I kind of thought it was a little BL, but again, it was within the rules, and they executed it. So
Bush League?
While I'm irritated about it, I can't pout and cry because it was in the rules.
Yeah, I would say this. I feel like the rule is poorly written if you're able to do that. I would argue that the new inning should be considered as starting when the defensive team runs out onto the field.
I would agree.
So I think this was IPT because the spirit of the rule was essentially violated. If you are in the batter's box ready for the pitch and the clock has not struck 0, that inning should be played.
Yeah,
that would be my
I would
opinion.
think you want to get some at bats. You want to
right. Even if you're going to
win the game,
you get your kids some extra reps. You could even sub.
I don't get it.
You got a 5-run lead. Get some people playing time that they might not
and then, Jesse,
normally get.
This thing will annoy you too. They have, because it's 10U softball. They have home plate closed, which is fine.
I don't understand what that means.
Ball gets past the catcher. You can go from first to second to third, but you can't. You have to score on a hit or some ball needs to be thrown.
No stealing
but
home.
you can't on a pass ball.
That's what we had too.
I think it's a really good rule.
Totally agree.
but then you can still score on a throwback to the pitcher. So what happens?
What?
And
Hate
this
that.
I have.
Yep.
I don't have any problem because we do this. We always are pushing the envelope on running bases. I think that's just good baseball and softball. But they force the catcher to run down every time, in essence, taking time off the clock to run back. And then our catcher turned her back, and then the girl ran and ended up scoring. And either home plate is open or it's closed. Period. It has to be scored on a run or not. Don't try and reinvent the wheel. Those are my two complaints from our tournament. Otherwise, it seemed like everything was fine.
How did pool play work? Did you play a lot of different teams, or did you play the same teams
The
over
pool
and over
play
again?
was set up great. Yeah, no problems. There was cross-pollination. There was different teams that won. They go in championship bracket. You go third place. It was actually a really well-executed tournament from that front.
I really appreciate the content that comes from the various tournaments you play in. I don't want you to get a reputation for just airing your baseball or softball grievances on the program.
I've said a lot of great things about tournaments, too.
Have you?
I have.
Like what?
We had a great breakfast.
I just said the tournament over that the Mallards ran was fantastic. They had the
tournament
everything
that the
was
Mallards
great.
ran? This is the first I've heard of a tournament run by the Mallards.
Well, Jason, here's what we don't get. I don't want to get after you about this, but I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think people are as interested in when I talk about how great everything goes, like smooth. People like to be able to kind of relate and say, oh, that is irritating. That is. If I sit here and say, oh, boy, my kid is a beast. He's really good at this. Oh, my kid are athletes that are getting like that's just not. That's not how I want to do it. So that's fine.
But don't get defensive. All right.
You just got after me about telling me that.
I just asked you that, and then you said, oh,
Jason.
I talked about how great the Mallards tournament is. Please call in 844-770-3776 if you heard Tausch talk about a Mallards tournament. Was it when I wasn't here?
It was really good, so I didn't need to. That's my point.
I talked about how great the Mallards tournament
You're
was.
telling me I'm Johnny Grumpy and only complain about stuff. And when I don't say anything, I'm not complaining. Is that not accurate? I need a Coors Light. Whether you're tailgating pregame, enjoying the experience during the game, or celebrating a big win, or you're fighting with your co-host about Lord knows what, you just need a moment to chill. Crack open a Rocky Mountain cold Coors Light. Coors Light is brewed with a 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and co-packaged. So it is made to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
I didn't even get to weigh in, and I'm the umpire on the panel.
Not only that, we never got to.
All you do is complain about tournaments and all.
Not what I said.
I've said many times.
Play the tape.
That is exactly what you said. That's what you said.
You'll have to wait to hear the thought I had when Tyrese Haliburton tore his Achilles. Ed Helms sucks, but Justin Garcia doesn't.
NBA Finals recap.
He joins us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Jim Rutledge from Jim, Matt, and Molly, a finalist for Best of Madison Radio Team for the third year in a row. Help us win it all this year and vote every day this month at madisonmagazine.com/BOM.
Mark Tosher here for Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust. Well, congratulations to the amazing team at Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie. They're celebrating their 60th year in business. Year after year, Zimbrick Chevrolet is recognized as a Best of Madison operation. If you've experienced the same great service I have for years, head over to madisonmagazine.com/BOM and vote Zimbrick Chevrolet as Best of Madison yet again. Zimbrick Chevrolet is Dane County's #1 volume Chevy dealer. Stop by or browse online to check out the full lineup of Zimbrick Chevy's new and used vehicle inventory, including Dane County's largest selection of the hot new Chevy Equinox. And remember, it's always better to have your vehicle serviced before you hit the road for a summer road trip, so you don't have to worry about it while you're traveling. Tune-ups, tire rotations, oil changes, and everything in between. Book an appointment online today with Zimbrick Chevrolet's outstanding service team. Voted Best of Madison year after year and celebrating 60 years in business. Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie is the name you can trust.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on June 24th.
Turio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they take on the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third down.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tune in June 24th at 6:40 on WISC TV in Madison, or check your local listings to watch the game.
You're back at the gym. Your new gym outfit? On point. Your new sneakers? Baller. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee free with no minimum balance requirements. So when you take your first yoga class in 10 months, your body might surprise you, but your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Summer is here, and there's no better way to celebrate than with Door County Distillery. Hey, it's Alex Stroh. I've been telling you for years how great Door County Distillery is. Locally produced, handcrafted, and award-winning spirits made locally in beautiful Door County. The sun is shining, and so can the Rock Island Rum from Door County Distillery in your summertime cocktail. Otherwise, vodkas, gins, whiskeys, brandies, and more, it's all available from the award-winning Door County Distillery. Find a huge list of unique cocktail recipes and the retailer nearest you, doorcountydistillery.com. That's doorcountydistillery.com.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here with an offer for a bath or shower remodel from Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get 0 interest financing for 12 months and a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Hey, it's Riley Yauk. Stay in the know on area high school sports and follow ESPN Madison on social media for Prep Mania on Deck, each week's preview for the top games and events. Prep Mania on Deck is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of high school sports and local communities.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
Milwaukee Bucks, green and growing, better each year. Green and growing, the Bucks don't stop here.
Joining us now to discuss whatever complaints he has with softball and baseball tournaments and the like, and
I
maybe
think we're actually talking about that Mallards tournament and how great it was run. And I didn't bring anything up. That's what we were going to talk about.
It'll be the first time we've talked about it, so that sounds like a great idea.
You're such a jerk. You're a jerk.
And maybe we'll get to my thought when I saw Tyrese Haliburton go to the floor with what clearly, once again, boy, is there any more identifiable of an injury by non-doctors than Achilles tears? He is our Bucks buddy. You hear him on the Bucks radio network. He is fantastic at what he does. He is Justin Garcia on Wilde and Tausch. Justin, good morning. How are you?
Good, guys. How are you?
Well, I'd like your feedback on when a new inning starts in a softball tournament. What's amazing about how that turned is that I completely agreed with Tausch that it was Bush League and it should have started as soon as the previous inning had ended with the clock still running. Do you agree?
I agree. I caught the tail end of it. It was just fast. Like, is this the whole show today? I'm curious to see how long this is going to go on here. But yes, I agree with the overall
Wondered the same thing.
Viewpoint.
All right, so I would like to tell you.
Me too. Will you get your teas paid off from 20 minutes ago?
That'd be great. I'd love to tell you about my thought when I saw Tyrese Haliburton crumple to the floor last night. Thank God the Milwaukee Bucks and their medical staff did not allow Giannis onto a basketball court during the playoffs last season with his calf strain. Because what is it now? It's KD, right? KD had this a number of years ago.
2019.
Right? We've got now Haliburton joins that group. I don't know if Tatum was dealing with something like that.
No.
He was.
Not a calf. But like the Dame one, Dame and Haliburton are kind of explainable when you see Dame dealt with a blood clot in his calf and clearly had to work into conditioning to come back. Haliburton dealing with that as well. And I saw a handful of national guys point out too, like, man, I get it's the finals and you got to push forward, but I really hope we don't see a Kevin Durant situation. He just kind of filed it away like, okay, that's really putting the bad news out there. But to see it happen, look, I know Bucks fans hate the Pacers. I said after that first round series, I thought the Pacers were going to win the East. We did our predictions for the Lockdown Network. I was one of two people. I think you can guess who the other was to pick the Pacers to win this series because
Jesse Nelson?
No. The Tony East, who does a great job covering the Pacers, was the other one.
Homer.
But because this team, and not anything Jesse Nelson would have done, certainly. This team was just
him.
And so good, yeah.
Won some money on him.
Yeah.
The
thing about
that's true.
The Pacers, they just didn't have a weakness. And, going into that game last night, I felt like they were going to win because, number one, how many times, I don't think it's ever happened that a team, and this is really cherry-picking stats, but a team loses a finals game by the margin the Thunder did and still end up winning that series. It's never happened. But this Pacers team just, it was such a great series and competitive throughout the first 6 games. It was arguably the best series in terms of the basketball play that we have seen in over 2 decades. And it just kind of left, 7 minutes into the game and Tyrese Haliburton goes down. And we saw it with Dame. If you were watching the playoffs, you saw it with Tatum. We've seen it enough now that unfortunately I think we're all trained enough to know what that was when you could see him plant.
Mm-hmm. JG, I was on with Vince and the boys on WTMJ this morning, and they referred to the Pacers now after this loss, and with Haliburton more than likely going to miss a vast majority of next season if he plays at all, as a middling team in the East.
No.
I can tell you're not, but what I want to ask is, if Giannis is back, who would you rather be? The Pacers with their lineup without Haliburton or the Bucks without Dame?
Well, who would I rather be next season or next season and beyond?
Yes. Next season.
Well, which one? Next season?
Yep.
Well, we also have to see what the Bucks do. Because even if you have Giannis, if Gary Trent Jr. and Brooke and Kevin Porter Jr. and Bobby, if they leave, you need a lot of help. And look, Indiana is interesting because I would not classify them as middling. They were clearly the best team in the conference. And we talk so much about gap year for the Celtics and what happens with them if they sell off parts with the Tatum injury. It's been kicked around with the Bucks. It's not quite as applicable there. The Pacers could have a true gap year. And what gets lost in all of this was the convenience of timing that last week the Pacers traded their first rounder this year to get control of their first rounder next year back, which takes them out of that stepping rule where they control their draft going forward. And for that to happen now, knowing we have control of our pick, Miles Turner's a free agent. They said before that game they're willing to go into the tax for the first time, I believe, ever under owner Herb Simon and pay to keep him. And we're thinking somewhere around $30 million. Miles Turner's a good player. Miles Turner did not have a good finals, was not good in the conference finals. And he's certainly younger. And not quite as, I don't want to say immobile, but not stone-footed as much as Brook Lopez. But I think Miles Turner is closer in terms of his play style to Brook Lopez than a guy like Jericho Sims and that type of center. And I don't know that that's the guy I want to lock $30 million into, especially now that you have Haliburton likely out for the season for this to end or happen in late June. The Pacers now having control of their draft next year and having that decision on Miles Turner, they could very easily say, you know what? This is a gap year. We have our pick back. We cannot tank, but we don't have to worry about making the playoffs. We can get a little cap relief and maybe do a signage rate with Miles Turner and get some assets back, maybe move some other guys that in a year or so, their contract, like an Obi Toppin, is going to start to become onerous. They're going to be interesting to monitor there, where next year, middling, maybe, but I think if you just said these teams are the same, no Haliburton, no Dame for the Bucks, every other piece is the same, I think they're still right around where they were and within a game or two of each other.
Talking with Justin Garcia, our Bucks buddy on Wilde and Tausch. All right, so we're talking about Haliburton, we're talking about Dame, Jason Tatum. The Knicks don't have, unless you're going to break news on our program, you're not. They don't have a coach yet, right? And we're like 2 days before the draft.
Yeah, it's still no coach. Still waiting.
So how do you view where the East stands? And if Giannis calls you, he calls Eric Name first, and Eric Name says, sorry, Giannis, I'm in the middle of something. Call JG for advice. Are you not looking at this and going, hey, man, even with Dame out till the playoffs at best, this conference is there for the taking. You're probably better off here than, I don't know, saying going to the West, where even Utah plans on competing. Does the landscape affect anything here?
So I was talking about this with someone else earlier this morning, in that, man, if we are to assume the Pacers, even if they run it back and keep everyone, they were a 4 seed this year, and they got off to a really slow start, and Haliburton was dealing with injuries earlier in the season. Aaron Nesmith missed a big chunk of time. But, this team, when the Bucks beat them on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve, they were below 500, and there was a lot of, I guess the Pacers are the Atlanta Hawks from a couple of years ago. That's where they finished. So even taking Haliburton off, best case scenario, if they bring this group back and they say, hey, we got health and we figure out how to play together, I still think they're like a 4-5 seed. Celtics, I don't think, and I don't think any of us think, are going to be a top 4 seed here. The Knicks are bringing back most of their guys, we think. Who knows? But you got to find a new coach. And does that coach want to play a different way? And what does that mean for the chemistry of the team? So we'll see how that unfolds. The Cavs are the interesting team to me because it seems like they're the stealth team that is going to do something significant, because we've had the conversation year over year. I don't know if these pieces fit together. When you talk about Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland and Mobley and Jared Allen, I don't think all those guys are on the team next season. I think Cleveland looks to do something pretty big here, but all of us could say anytime you do something significant, it has those ripple effects you don't really anticipate. Have we entered a spot where the Orlando Magic are going to be viewed as the favorites going into the next season here with the move they made to bring in Desmond Bane? Like, it kind of feels like that's where we're headed. And to your point, if you're the Bucks, this was the sell job all along, to tell Giannis, look, the conference is open. You are the best player in the conference. You give us a chance. If we have that, and if we bring back most of this group, which we need your sell-off on, and we need you to recognize you'll be here, that we can spin that to guys like Gary Trent Jr. and Bobby Portis and Kevin Porter Jr. But, all of a sudden, without doing anything, if you retain your guys, going from the bleakest output of, a handful of Bucks fans thinking, is Giannis going to be traded, to the other saying, why is this a play-in tournament team, to all of a sudden seeing injuries to Tatum and Haliburton and saying, well, could this team finish 4th in the Eastern Conference this season? Like, stranger things have happened, and this will be the look. You want Giannis back in the MVP conversation? Next season is it, with a down Eastern Conference, and saying the way we played those final 8 games of the regular season and in the playoffs, where you're basically Nikola Jokic for us. That's how you become the MVP once again.
You think the
JG,
Magic are the favorites in the Eastern Conference?
Oh, God. So, Jesse, can you pull up a list as I'm talking with JG of the free agents and of the folks? I want to get JG to say yes or no.
Of every single free agent?
On this team.
Not in the entire league, just the Bucks, right?
All right, let's start with the Brooklyn Nets.
But realistically, with the Bucks sitting, what do they have?
Atlanta Hawks,
47th
let's go
pick? Is that where they're at? They got the 47th pick.
They do, yeah.
Thursday night because they split it now, which is smart. Wednesday is first round and Thursday second. Correct?
I mean, is it smart? Do we need 2 days for a 2-round draft?
Can't wait to tune in for the second round of the draft.
Right. Well, if you're a Bucks fan and you want to get a player, that's what you're going to do.
You're right.
I mean, look, not to sidetrack too much, but if we're going to do 2 days for the draft, right?
Yeah.
If we're going to do a 2-day draft, just do the lottery day 1 and everything else is day 2. Because to Jason's point, you know what? I want to check out the second round of the draft.
So you just want to do, what is that, 14, 15 picks? Is that what you're saying?
14, yeah.
I like
I'm
that
on board with
idea.
that plan.
Yeah.
I like that, JG.
You know what he just did?
I think you should do the lottery right there, too. Make this thing happen right now. You don't have 3 months to figure it out. That could be another.
Oh, so you just do the actual draft lottery.
Do the actual
you got 10
lottery
minutes.
right there.
I like that.
10 minutes. Let's go. There you go, Dallas. You want to keep old boy or what? That's kind of where you're at. All right, so, Justin, as we're sitting here, and you mentioned some of the free agents, and you got Connaughton opts in, which doesn't surprise anybody. He's more than likely going to either be a piece that the Bucks try to just use as an expiring contract or whatnot. What can Milwaukee do this offseason, in your opinion, realistically, to get better? And will they stay where they're going to be an apron or a big-time luxury payer if they keep Giannis? Is that going to be a part of the deal?
Okay, so no, not really, at least to the second part. Like I don't think they're not gonna be a second apron team next year. And they're very likely gonna be hard capped at the first apron. I'll just say, not to get too nerdy, but they have more things available to them that they can use now this offseason. If you use those, it hard caps you at the first apron, which is I forget how close they are to it, but they're going to be under that level. In the first apron is $195 million. So they're going to be operating below that figure in terms of cap. They're big free agents. Bobby Portis has a player option. You mentioned Pat Connaughton already picked up his, but Bobby has a player option. Kevin Porter Jr. has a player option. Then you have the free agents. Jericho Sims is a free agent. Gary Trent Jr. is a free agent. Dorian Prince hasn't really been mentioned this offseason. He's a free agent as well. And then Brook Lopez. I think, based on everything you've been able to suss out, Gary Trent Jr. is their number one priority here. Still 26 years old. He fit perfectly with this team, especially once they put him back in the starting lineup. So I do feel like he's going to be back next season. Bobby Portis is interesting because he's made comments recently saying how much he loves it here, would love to stay here, but he's taking team-friendly deals, which he has, and he'd like to get paid. I just don't know where the money's going to come from because there are 2 teams that have pure cap space this summer. Just 2. There's 5 teams, I think, in the second apron, 4 that are in that first apron level, and then basically half the league is where the Bucks are, in that they have veteran minimums, they have the non-tax pyramid level, which is $14.1 million, and they can also use a biannual exception, which, as it states, you can use every other year, which is just over $5 million. If you use those, it hard caps you at that $195 million range. But that's where half the league is operating. And for guys like Gary Trent Jr. and Bobby Portis, they both play at positions where there are better free agents at that position this summer that are going to command more attention than them. So I just wonder how many more guys we're going to see. Maybe it's not the veteran minimum, but having to take half of the mid-level and all of a sudden looking at it and saying, wow, Bobby Portis signed for 3 years, $33 million, and he's taken $11 million a year when he was making $13 million last year and wanted to make, upwards of 15 to 18 million or more per year starting this summer. That I just don't think the money's going to be there for some of these guys once the free agency starts to dry up. So I think that does bode well for the Bucks to say, look, we have these things we can use to keep guys. We have bird rights, which means you can pay beyond the mid-level, and you can pay whatever it takes to keep guys like Bobby Portis and Brook Lopez, and even on Jericho Sims as well. And when you look at the injuries in the conference, if you say, we have the resources to keep these guys and stay young, and we got Giannis here, if we keep that team together, we're not going to be the 1 seed, we're not going to be the 2 seed, but we feel like we can lean into that chemistry we found last year and play in this way and be a team that has a chance when you get to the playoffs without having to do things like you mentioned, the contracts of Pat Connaughton, Kyle Kuzma too. We'll see if he has a bounce back year. If not, that's a guy that becomes a $22 million expiring contract next summer, where they have some things to do this summer, but next summer they figure to have a decent amount of money to work with as well, where you have Kuzma expiring, Damian Lillard expiring, Pat Connaughton will be off the books, where you're going to have even more flexibility next year. And that's why you're starting to see, okay, maybe this could be a gap year of sorts for the Bucks.
Justin, I know you have multiple jobs, and I also know that you got to clean your shoe collection. You like to do that on Mondays. Do you have a few more minutes to stick around?
Sure.
That's why you're the best. We'll talk more with our Bucks buddy, Justin Garcia. I'm going to get into a little bit about Doc Rivers, because I see you in the YouTube comments, folks. Not a lot of huge Doc Rivers fans in the YouTube comments, so I'm a little bit curious.
Somebody he gave a speech and said he was dynamite. He gave a speech down in Chicago, said he's one of the best speakers he's ever had that they've ever listened to. So,
but can he drop a blob? We will talk more with Justin Garcia. Baseline out of bounds play? Blob? Yeah? No?
Blob? Dude,
you know what they call him?
I'm not a coach like you. I don't have blobs.
I love you, man. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com.
With your Badger Minute, I'm Riley Yauk. A court case that could shape the future of college athletics is upon us. As Friday afternoon, it was reported by Ross Dellinger of Yahoo Sports that the University of Wisconsin has officially filed a lawsuit against the University of Miami for tampering and eventually poaching cornerback Xavier Lucas, who is under contract with the Badgers. The case's timetable is still uncertain, but regardless, it's safe to say Wisconsin will be at the forefront of history in this new era of college sports.
What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Pella has a product line for every budget.
No interest and no payments for up to 2 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Bringing summer gatherings to the next level is just another thing we do at Celebrations Entertainment. Hi, it's Jeffrey. With rental items like sound equipment, photo booths, and even yard games, you can make your event the party that everyone talks about. Any event like graduation parties, block parties, or even a backyard barbecue can be elevated with fun, interactive items to make everyone ask, hey, how'd you pull this off? Just tell them celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or Choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Starion Bank redefines local banking in Madison. As a community bank with a commitment to Dane County, experience a banking relationship where your goals are our priority. Enjoy competitive deposit and loan rates and a partnership that thrives on local engagement and support. Starion Bank is more than a full-service financial institution. It's a community pillar dedicated to your prosperity. Visit one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, or Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, offering banking, lending, mortgage, and cash management.
Catch the feeling of Hawaii at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison with our 100K Luau promotion. The festivities take place on Saturday, June 28th. Starting at 4 p.m., 24 winners will each select a cash prize between $1,000 and $10,000. Then at 7:30, one grand prize winner will take home the big one, $30,000. We're giving away a total of $100,000 at this Luau. Aloha. Put on your Hawaiian shirts and head over to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Greg Scalzo here for Buck and Honeys. Congratulations to the perennial Best of Madison Award winner by the folks at Madison Magazine. Meet me at Buck and Honeys to celebrate Wisconsin hospitality. Whether you're enjoying the view on the Yahara River in Monona, exploring Wanakee, visiting the OG in Sun Prairie, or checking out the new location in Mount Horeb, you can enjoy the Buck and Honeys experience in a neighborhood near you. Serving lunch and dinner 7 days a week with brunch every Saturday and Sunday. I'll see you at Buck and Honeys.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
The Bucks don't stop here. Milwaukee Bucks, green and growing, better each year. Green and growing.
Continuing with our Bucks buddy, Justin Garcia, on Wilde and Tausch. Justin, so we were having this conversation last week about the Packers because Ed Policy made it very clear that Brian Gutekunst and Matt LaFleur will not get extensions before the season. He also does not like lame duck seasons, which means that's what they would be in theoretically in 2026 if they didn't get an extension. Or I suppose they could add 1 year to each of their contracts if this year's a middling year. But my point is that we talk a lot about continuity when it comes to the Packers, right? Obviously, with the coaching situation, were they paying 3 coaches at once at one point?
That's over now, but yeah.
Yes, and Doc coming in when he did. We talked about this past season. Well, now Doc will have an entire offseason with this team and have from the start. Well, now we are entering into year 2.5 with him in charge. What are your expectations for, and I know as you went through all the free agents, there's still a lot of moving pieces, but now is there value to this potential continuity, especially if Giannis turns out to be happy and willing to stay and not looking to be traded, and he's happy with Doc Rivers as the coach? Is there potentially a chance that things are even more smoothly run because he will have finally kind of reached his rhythm, if you will?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think continuity is ever a bad thing. I think we saw what it brought last year, especially with the defense. The offense was not where you expected it to be with Giannis and Dame on the same team, but they started to find things down the stretch. The bigger part of it, and you mentioned it before, I see it all the time on my shows and hear it from people as well. I get the prevailing feeling about Doc Rivers from a lot of Bucks fans. But you just mentioned paying 3 coaches. They are in no hurry to do that again. And it's also something that I think you're more apt to make that type of change if this was the 2022 team, where you look at it and say, we are clearly one of the 2 best teams in the league, or at the very least our conference, and we feel like we are on the doorstep of that. That is clearly not where this team is. And, we can pick apart what Doc Rivers does well or what he doesn't do well at X's and O's. He leaves this to be desired, or whatever it is that you think he is doing wrong. But if number 34 likes him and says, I want to play for this guy, I have a good relationship with him, I want him here, then he's going to be there. And that should be something that you should want as well if it means Giannis stays in Milwaukee.
Is that the case, JG? Does he love Doc? Does he want to be here with Doc? Is that who he is going to hitch his wagon to?
I mean, I'm not going to pretend to know Giannis's inner feelings. I know there's a lot of reporting on that. I do know that there's a good relationship pretty much across the board. I mean, I would say from the things that I observed, I think Doc, of all the guys on his team, probably has the strongest relationship with Damian Lillard. But you can definitely see that with his interaction with the players and how they feel about him. And, look, I think the other thing is this is a job for these guys too. And I just don't think, not to say that this is, applicable to every single player in the league, but I don't think every player is viewing it the way that fans are and saying, I want to play for this guy because he's the best tactician that's out there. And this guy's going to help get me there. There are those, right? And that's certainly something that's important. But it's a job to these guys too. And I think a big part of this is when I go to work, when you go to the office, you're going to the radio station, you're unfortunately working with Jesse and people like that. It's the same with these guys. When I go to work, trying to name names that you'd want to be around. But when you're going to the arena, those are your coworkers. And you want to surround yourself with those guys of, you know what? I like being around this guy. He makes it fun. Yeah, that's what I want to sign up for. And it's not always well, why wouldn't you want to play for Eric Spoelstra? They should try to get him. Like, yes, there are those guys, and there should be some of that. But this is a job to those guys as well.
Yeah, it's about it comes back to, just like in everything else, money and fit and all the other stuff. So, all right, we have a fun little game drawn up, JG, where it's a game that my daughter loves. It's called Yerp or Nerp.
Oh, it's back.
So when Jesse brings up a free agent and or someone he thinks may or may not be on this Bucks roster in September, you say Yerp, and if you want to give a little side note, great. That is completely up to you. But Jesse, this is a game we thought we were going to bury. We have, like Lazarus, has risen. Go ahead, Jelly Belly.
Well, let's start it with someone in-house then. Let's go with Brooke Lopez, JG. Yerp
I'm fascinated
or Nerp?
So this is what I think.
Yes, your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Your opinion.
Well, at the moment, I would say Nerp because I think there is a robust market for Brooke Lopez, and I think you have to have a walk-away figure if you're the Bucks, and I think what he's going to command is going to be above that.
What's he going to get?
Yeah, and
what
why?
do you think he's going to?
I think he's going to get.
He's 73 years old.
Jeez,
I think he's going to get close to that non-tax mid-level. So he's going to make $10+ million a year. He's not going to go from $25 million to the veteran minimum that Bucks fans hope for, but he's still valuable. He's a stretch big. He's a great ring protector. Is he the most athletic big? No. But if you surround him with the right pieces, he's still an incredibly valuable player.
What do the Bucks look at? What do you think the Bucks would feel comfortable paying him?
It's tough because it depends on what you do with Bobby Portis and what you get Gary Trent Jr. and Kevin Porter Jr. for, if you can retain those guys, because otherwise you're going to go past that first apron and into the tax, which if they use the non-tax mid-level, they can't do. So they'd probably love they would love if he could take like $8 million, but I just don't see that happening.
He's 37,
if that's the case,
by the
and
way.
they really should have looked at moving him at the trade deadline last year, don't you think?
No, because you still had Giannis and Dame, and you had to play for that year.
Okay. Okay.
Nerp.
All right, Jesse.
The wily old veteran and a great bowler, Chris Paul, is on the market. Yerp or Nerp?
No, Nerp.
He could not have nerped it faster.
I mean,
I'm giving
Chris.
Jesse
Number one,
too much
Chris Paul.
creative control here.
Yeah,
Come
I mean,
on,
number one,
Jesse.
he doesn't want to come to the Midwest and Milwaukee,
Yeah,
but
he
also
does
the
not.
Bucks are in an era where Giannis needs to be the oldest player on the team.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yerp. I agree.
I
with
like that line.
How
That's a
about
really good line.
last year on the Brooklyn Nets? And Bleacher Report says this could be a good candidate for the Bucks to pursue in free agency.
Bleacher Report.
Yeah, that's the list I found.
Are you going to throw Cam Thomas out there?
I am not. D'Angelo Russell.
Oh.
Yerp or Nerp?
This is just Nerp.
That's another Nerp.
Oh, God.
You already have Kevin Porter Jr. in-house that is theoretically going to come cheaper, and he's much younger. If you're going to pay for that, you're going to retain Kevin Porter Jr.
Why don't you just tell us if there's a free agent that the Bucks might want to go sign?
Well, I mean, I thought we were doing their actual guys.
Right,
We just went through every single
That's
one.
what I
that
thought
they
too.
have.
JG,
And
I
significant ones
apologize.
at that.
Listen,
Oh my
here's
God.
the
You
deal.
said find a list of
Jesse.
the top free agents out there. And
No, it's not what I said.
And you
said
have
Bucks free
D'Angelo
agent.
Russell as a top free
Ju-
agent?
he is number
Justin.
28.
All right, I would like to take
Justin,
over
I
the
want
game
you-
if I could.
Hold up 1 second, Jason. I want to apologize because I thought I gave
apology.
Jesse enough notice. It's on me. I said the current. I wanted to get an idea of Brooke and Bobby Portis, the guys that the Bucks or they going to retain, not some Chris Paul. Like, come on, dude. You just wasted JG's time.
You
Jesse.
asked for the
Chris
top
Paul.
list
I
of-
didn't.
Number
I
one's
never once
LeBron.
asked for
Should
Chris
I ask
Paul
about LeBron?
if he was going to be a Milwaukee Buck. Ever, never. Nerp, 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 nerp. Go ahead, Jason. This thing is I've lost control. That's not JG. I apologize in post advance of this.
If only they had traded Kyle Kuzma straight up for KD, everything would have been fine. All right. The Bucks' remaining free agents that have not been
Jonathan Kuminga.
or nerped.
Oh, God.
Gary Trent Jr. Gary Trent Jr., unrestricted free agent.
Yeah, I think that's a Yerp because I think he is going to be the one they value the most because of his age and his fit. And it's been a revolving door, 2 guards for the Bucks. I mean, it's been a model of, hey, come to the Bucks, play alongside Giannis, knock down threes, you're going to get paid. But they finally found a guy that's young enough that you can build around and have him as one of those pieces. And again, when you look at the free agents at 2 guard, some of the names that Jesse mentioned, some other ones, Cam Thomas is a high volume scorer that's out there. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is certainly going to be a guy that's warranting more than Gary Trent Jr. Even our old friend Malik Beasley is going to take up some of that money. So I also don't think the market is out there for Gary Trent Jr. to command the full non-tax pyramid level, which just makes it easier for the Bucks to retain it.
All right, 2 more unrestricted free agents. Taurean Prince, as you mentioned, who I believe played on a vet minimum deal this past season and started almost all the games.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I guess I would say Nerp because there hasn't been anything linking him back to the Bucks, but I would certainly keep the door open to retain him on that 120% raise. And just bring him back as a rotational piece. He's not going to be a heavy minutes and a starter guy as you played him last year, but he's still young enough and gave you some value as a 3-and-D guy that I wouldn't shut the door on retaining him for another veteran minimum.
So he's more of a Yerp, a possible Yerp.
Yeah, he's We'll see what happens.
Just trying out some stuff here. All right, and then their last unrestricted free agent is Jericho Sims.
So I guess I would say Europe for the similar reasons to Gary Trent Jr. in that you have his bird rights. So again, you can offer more than the veteran minimum. And it also means if you have the bird rights, you're not dipping into the mid-levels that we mentioned. So you can pay more to retain him. There's certainly pieces there that you love to see with his defensive ability. The offense is still a bit clunky, but he's young, and especially if Brook Lopez moves on, it puts more importance on retaining Bobby Portis and keeping another young guy in the fold like Jericho Sims. And I just, again, for those reasons, you got Miles Turner, Brook Lopez, and other bigs on the market. There's going to be teams that kick the tires on Jericho Sims, but it's not going to be a robust market. And that's the last thing I'll say, too. Speaking of Miles Turner, that's what makes this week interesting is the Haliburton injury and the reporting going into Game 7 last night that the Pacers were going to be willing to go into the tax and keep Miles Turner. Does that change?
Right.
Now that you're saying this is possibly a gap year, maybe this is how we start to cleanse ourselves a little bit. And, given his performance in the finals, too, we're not going to pay him $30 million a year. So if he gets that elsewhere, he leaves. If he gets that elsewhere, that is more money that is being spent by teams that have money that, again, takes away from that pot that can go out there, the free agents that the Bucks have, which in turn would help them retain these guys.
Tausch mentioned that Pat Connaughton picked up his option, his player option. Bobby Portis has a player option. Kevin Porter Jr. has a player option. And then Tausch's favorite player, Ryan Rollins, is a restricted free agent. So those are the other three that are in flux.
I think you certainly have the conversations with Bobby of, look, we know you want to get paid more. If you can find it out there, bring it to us. But we would love to have you here, and we'll just give you more guaranteed money. If you decline this player option of, $13-14 million that he's set to make, you decline that, we'll give you $33 million over 3 years. And we'll give you a 2+1, where 2 years from now, you're in the same spot that you can create more leverage and say, I'm opting out of my contract, and we'll see what the market is there. But if you do that, we keep those pieces together. You're playing alongside Giannis. You're going to start for us. Your numbers will go up, and it helps us do other things to keep this team competitive.
All right, JG. I know we kept you a really long time, but
Fred VanVleet made $42 million last year.
Good for Fred.
Jesse has gone down the free agent rabbit hole. We're never
Fred
getting him back.
VanVleet?
A player option for $44 million this year, which I'm guessing they have already worked out he will decline that and sign a long-term deal now that they have traded for Kevin Durant. Before we go, I have one question for you guys. I don't mean this as an insult. Would you say you're casual NBA fans?
No, Tausch is a heavy.
No, I'm
an insider.
Insider.
I'm not an insider,
well,
but I know
you're on the
the
fringe,
big picture stuff. No, I'm a big picture guy, JG.
How invested in this finals were you?
I was invested. I would say, and not minimally, but I wasn't like watching every second. But I was definitely intrigued. I thought it was a really good series, and fun to watch.
It was arguably the best we've seen since the '90s. How much of the story was about the play on the court? Would you say? Like, if you were just a casual guy coming in and observing the league and saying, "What's the story with these teams?" How much of that story was told?
Probably, I think the Haliburton, the injury part of it was more at the top than I just feel like Oklahoma City was, and they used this word on ESPN today, mundane. They made it look easy for the vast majority of the season. And outside of SGA, I don't think many casual NBA fans know anything about them. That's what I think.
Even Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I don't think, and this is the problem the league has, they have not done a good enough job of creating and developing and projecting these stars and letting you know what makes Shai Gilgeous-Alexander great. You may have known he won the MVP. You may have known the Thunder are a really good team. You don't know why. And you hear things like net rating tossed around and don't know what that means. I think that's the problem the league has. I mean, that and what's going on with Achilles tears in the playoffs, especially Achilles tears with guys wearing the jersey number 0. But that to me, and even things like having Kevin Durant traded on Game 7, the day of Game 7 of your NBA Finals, which just means, if the Haliburton injury doesn't happen, today the discourse is the Western Conference and Kevin Durant and who's the next star traded. And we've already moved on from the Thunder winning the championship. And then, oh, by the way, 2 days later, it's the draft. Like, the fact that you have your draft that close to the season ending, this series lasted 18 games, 18 days. That's another thing the league has to look at and address. Of I get the TV aspect, but why are we doing this?
Well, it sounds like you and Tausch are just the people to fix this, because one of Tausch's areas of expertise is fixing things sometimes that are broke, other times he's just improving them. But
we already fixed the draft, House, so I'll send you my notes on the rest of
Exactly.
the stuff.
Yep. All right. Yeah, just let me know. We'll keep plugging away. We'll get things fixed up.
JG, we're always smarter when we talk to you, and for those that tune into this show for Bucks coverage and don't get it very often, we're lucky to have you to come in and do that for folks. We appreciate you, buddy. Thanks.
See you guys.
That is the great Justin Garcia. You can hear him on his Locked On Bucks podcast. You can also certainly hear him on the Bucks radio network during the season. Tausch, he was locked in, we're locked in, and you're locked in as a UW credit union member now.
I am indeed. And for every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. They're going to help you reach your financial goals. And people ask me, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, I like keeping my banking local. I love their member-first service. And I love great perks like early payday. But really, I just love Bucky. Love Bucky. Going to head over. Probably catch Bucky over at Squat Fest on Friday. And if you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fan will make you do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member. Get your Bucky card like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions do apply.
A Bulaga-esque kickoff to the 10 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes. So stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Hey, this is former Badger Brad Norton.
9 minutes of fake. Great call and great execution.
You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out, 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. The Milwaukee Brewers are hot. Winners of 4 straight, including a weekend sweep over the Minnesota Twins. Finalized with a 9-8 Sunday matinee victory in the Twin Cities. The Brewers outscored Minnesota 35-14 in the full series. It's Milwaukee's first 3-game series sweep in Minnesota since 1988. The two teams combined on Sunday for 35 hits, the most in any MLB game this season. Entering play today, the Brewers 3.5 games back of the Chicago Cubs for the top spot in the NL Central. A season-high watermark, 8 games over 500 for the Brewers, and they have a chance to add to it this week. The Pirates are in last place, first of 3 tonight at American Family Field, and the Rockies are the worst team in baseball coming in this weekend. Tonight, 6:40, first pitch for the Brewers and the Pirates. Pregame coverage starts just after 6 o'clock following Jim, Matt, and Molly right here on Madison's home of the Brewers, 100.5 ESPN. Wilde and Tausch continues right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch. Matt Carney coming to Fish Creek next month. Very excited to go see our friend and not have to go very far to do it. Big fan of that
VIP,
as well.
VIP? Get a little VIP action for you?
FIP, friendly, important person. It'll be great to see him. And we appreciate Justin Garcia, who was also great to see as he joined us. It was worth going late. So for
How
those
does
of
that
you,
work? Does Matt Carney get cash from us for playing his music all the time? Do you know how that works? I don't know how that works.
I don't know how that works. I don't know what the rules are.
Jesse?
I did text him once upon a time to ask if it was okay for us to play his music on the show, and he said absolutely. So for that, whatever that's worth.
That's what I'm asking.
I don't know how that works. I know every time you play a song on Spotify, they get like 3 cents or something ridiculous. So play lots of songs over.
If you'd really like to know, there's a service that we all sign up to be part of as radio stations and whatnot, and that's the service that then distributes payments to all the people who are a part of that service that are musicians.
Oh, so it's a big lump summer, and if you're using a lot of Killers, for instance, the Killers will get more bread the more their music plays.
Unless you're a very popular band or artist where you choose not to be part of that organization and you want to do it yourself, or you go through a different one and then you got to pay that one more, and so on and so forth.
All right, that's on me for asking. So, Jason, I know we got caught up in some mundane things, whether it's umpire or not umpiring. You calling me a tournament complainer, which I'm not. I understand. As a matter of fact, I complimented last year the rain and how we pulling off a tournament here in Sun Prairie with the organization. So, spare me with that one. But I wore this hat. We talked about your wedding and how great that was. I wore this hat for a reason today.
And
that reason is it's tough. The Indiana Pacers thought that were going to win a championship. They have grinded. They got to the Eastern Conference Finals, and now they made their next step, and then Hallie rips up his Achilles. And for all of us that think the Bucks should have more championships, I think a lot of us feel that way. I think you have to look at it and say, and have we been appreciative enough about the championship that we've won? I don't know the answer to that. And I don't want to sit here and say that we should just settle or be content.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that it was 50 years, the fact that we have been blessed with Giannis and great teams for the golden age of the Milwaukee Bucks, and that we have won, are we okay? Are we going to be fine? Again, we don't know what's going to happen this offseason. If you ask ESPN National, you're going to probably say he's getting traded. That's at least it just keeps coming and coming, even though Giannis has said a few times that he hasn't come out and said, I'm not leaving. He hasn't wolfed it yet, but he's been close. Are we all content, or how are we going to look at this era, if indeed this is it?
So it's a great question.
Thanks.
Again, as someone who's not a fan, I struggle with the idea of whether or not to tell people what to be satisfied with or grateful for. I do think, as a whole, I do believe that all fan bases, not the Bucks fan base, not exclusively the Packers fan base, are less appreciative of championships and the shelf life. That's why I always thought Homer's argument of I would suffer through 10 losing seasons or 9 losing seasons if every 10th year my team wins a title is I don't believe you get to year 3 or year 4 of those losing seasons, you are not going to be still basking in the joy of the title your program won 3 or 4 years earlier. I just don't believe you. So luckily that's not how it works. My question is, what's the difference between being grateful and being complacent and saying, oh, well, that's good enough? Because it is really freaking hard to win titles. I understand the Patriots, and to some degree, not to the same degree, but to some degree, the Chiefs in the NFL have both managed to make it seem like, hey, you can do it almost every year. Well, there's a lot of teams that can't. In the NBA, I think we've had proof that it's been different teams pretty frequently in the last decade and a half, right? We had a bunch of three-peats for a period there, but it's hard. So I do think that there is a portion of the Bucks fan base that is no longer, that was 2021, no longer satisfied. And I'm not saying you should be satisfied. I just think being grateful is an important thing too. And again, I don't want to speak for fans, so maybe I'm completely wrong on this, but judging the frustration that I hear from Bucks fans, and the great player that they have, like with Rodgers and Favre in the Packers comp, that's part of the issue too, right? I mean, was it Stephen A. Smith who said this, and then I think Jen, Gabe, and Chewy debated it. I think KBN debated it. If Giannis doesn't win another title, will he have underachieved during his time in Milwaukee? I didn't really like that topic personally, because you win a title, I don't think you get to be called an underachiever. I just don't. So you tell me.
Did Aaron Rodgers underachieve with the teams he had?
No, because I think it's teams that either achieve, overachieve, underachieve, or just achieve, right? Like, we always put it on the star player. We always put it on the star NBA player. We always put it on the quarterback of the NFL team.
Let me ask you this. Whose
like
achievements are more impressive in their respective teams? Aaron Rodgers and what he did in the 16, 17 years he played for the Green Bay Packers, or Giannis, what he has done up to this point? What's been more impressive to you?
It's a tough question because obviously I watched much more closely what Aaron did.
Okay.
I also think that, again, I don't want to speak for how people are going to vote, but a hell of a lot more people like Giannis these days than they like Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, that's fair. Yep.
People are still trying to figure out if he's really married or if it's a Manti Te'o situation. All I know is that quarterbacks control a good portion of whether your team wins or loses, but there's a lot more variables. I would argue that an NBA player who is one of five on the court has a greater percentage of influence over whether your team wins or loses than a quarterback. Would you agree or disagree with that?
Let's put this out for calls. I don't want to pat myself on the back. I think this is a fascinating. I want to get a look because we're so Packer dominant on this show. Who has what? How did I phrase it, Jesse?
I'm not exactly sure. What I wrote here was, whose achievements do you hold in higher regard as their careers currently stand? Is that the question?
That's a fair assessment. Jason, is that wording
I like it.
up to par for you?
Who's Wisconsin sports careers, right? Because we're basically basing this on Giannis's time in Green Bay or in Milwaukee and Aaron Rodgers' time in Green Bay. Like, I don't want people using, the Jets or now the Steelers part of it. This is all about his time with the Packers. So, yeah, I like it.
Because I am not going to go underachieve. I thought that was really dumb when
Good, I'm glad you
Stephen A.
agree.
Smith brought that. I thought it was dumb.
Okay.
Because both have achieved great things. But if you had to pick, who do you think? What did we say? How do we say it again, Jesse, one last time as we put this out for calls and or polls? What's so funny?
Who's Wisconsin sport? It's just such a great question you came up with, and you can't remember
and now you can't remember what it is.
Wisconsin sports?
Well, I want it worded the way you guys want. I'm a team player.
I'm going to read this one more time. Do you want to write it down, or do you want to just have it up on Twitter when it goes up? Okay. Who's
Twitter? Put it up on Twitter.
Wisconsin sports achievements do you hold in higher regard as their careers currently stand? Aaron Rodgers,
pretty good at
Giannis.
Boy, I don't even know how I would answer that yet.
Well, you think about it during the commercial break there, big fella.
I will.
844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. The poll is in the field. Whose Wisconsin sports achievements do you, I love it when you go all caps, I'm proud of you, Jesse,
That's our thing,
hold in higher regard as their careers currently stand. I have voted. I'll tell you how I voted, and we'll find out how Tausch is going to vote. And we'll find out what you think when you call or text on the Carbless Talk and text line, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Giannis versus A-Rod. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, here's Jeff Levering.
Thanks, Gina Della from Pella. What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Every day is beautiful because Pella installs year-round during all seasons.
It's so hard to guess that next pitch. The customizations seem endless.
And it doesn't have to be super expensive. Pella has a product line for every budget.
And if it is time for a major upgrade, rest easy by scoring no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply on 6/30/2025.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, I mean, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see the teams recognized for making a positive impact in the community. It's the Game Changers of the Month, presented by Zimbrick Honda.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get house.
Madison School and Community Recreation's For Friends golf outing is Wednesday, July 23rd at the Oaks Golf Course. Hey, it's Jesse Nelson. Since 2003, the Friends of MSCR has raised over $630,000 to fund new programming, equipment, fee assistance, staff development, and more. You can support accessible recreation in Madison through sponsorship or by signing up for a foursome. Head to birdease.com/MSCR for more information and to register. That's BIRDEASE.com/MSCR.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The brand new ESPN Wisconsin app. A customizable homepage, easier and quicker live listening. Your shows at the touch of a fingertip.
Unless there's a big boy trade coming that I don't see, Green Bay is going to run this thing back, and you hope that these other guys will emerge.
Available in Apple and Android app stores. Your one-stop shop for ESPN Wisconsin. The brand new ESPN Wisconsin app. Download it today.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our friends at Road America, America's National Park of Speed. Get out of your house this summer and go to Road America, located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road circuit that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. The Cheese Capital Cup is next on June 27th through the 29th. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Come for the experience and stay for the race. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Call you
We'll get to your calls and texts momentarily. I voted for Aaron Rodgers in the poll.
Shocker. I'm sure everybody's shocked by that you did that.
What?
Hey, if Jesse asked as we were coming back from break, you put Favre in that category. Is your answer changed, or is it still Rodgers?
Still Rodgers.
Okay. Explain your thought process as I'm gearing up to give you my answer. What's your thought process on
You're
why?
gearing
because
up?
it's a tough call.
Yeah,
Have
he's
you
gearing
reached
it
your
up.
answer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gearing up.
You're like
Why
one of
I'm
those
gonna
old
answer the way I have
timey
an answer.
cars that you had to like wind up in the front crank.
That's more like a Flintstones car, I think, where he's kind of got to get running start a little bit.
Sure. I think that there were far more years where the Packers were. I understand Favre went to one more Super Bowl than Rodgers did. Erica in the YouTube comments points out.
Bet I know who she voted for.
According to ESPN, in Rodgers' 10 playoff losses, the defense gave up a combined 335 points.
Yeah.
Fact check that. I think they were in position.
They also had 3 opportunities to score in the NFC Championship COVID game, and we didn't.
Yeah. Without a home field advantage,
2 picks,
or with people
3
doing
turnovers.
the wave.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to go Rodgers anyway because they had more bites at the apple. And there were certainly some instances where the quarterback previous to him did not give you guys a chance to win with some colossal mistakes that he made, including your team-leading 2 tackles.
Well, yeah, I didn't even put Favre in the category.
Right, but that
Jesse
was what
just asked.
you added that, and then you asked me what, and then you asked me what my thought process.
Yeah,
was.
no. The question I have is, Giannis gave the Bucks a lot of bites at the apple too, and I think in Green Bay's case, you could make an argument. Obviously, D-Boc's injury in 2020 was big, but there were other years, 2011, 2014. There were other years that, if you have 3 championships, we don't even bother with this question. So Giannis has, 2 MVPs? Aaron has 4. It's going to be hard to pick Giannis over Aaron Rodgers.
Big shocker. So here's the
I
thing.
haven't even made my pick yet.
No,
I'm
yeah,
just
that's what
saying
you said
will
about
be
me
hard.
picking him, and you said it was going to be.
Well,
never
because
mind.
it is. I knew you were going to pick him. That's why.
Again, I would appreciate it if you didn't further this narrative that he's my guy and I just love everything he does. And so, of course, I voted for him.
I would appreciate if you don't try and make up out of thin air a narrative about me being a tournament complainer.
You're right. That was totally out of thin air. Completely out of thin air.
Do you know what
no
thin
basis
air
at all.
is?
Be that as it may.
Helium?
Be that as it may. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. The Packers should have been in the Super Bowl in 2014. Packers should have been in the Super Bowl in 2020 when they had their one home NFC Championship game. But they did lose their starting left tackle, and they did have nothing close to a home field advantage because of COVID.
I heard I was on my way back from a earlier than should have been Beaver Dam softball tournament. I heard a young Jason Wilde maybe kind of putting some things out in the atmosphere that a left tackle might be going back to Pittsburgh. That's just what I heard in your appearance with Carmi yesterday.
That's not what happened. Craig asked if he was retired. So, being the reporter that I am, and the fact that he has his read receipts on, but then didn't reply to me, so maybe you should text him. We were talking about David Bakhtiari and whether he was formally retired, and I said if he looks like a guy who's retired to me. I follow him and Frankie on social media. They seem very happy in their post-football, post-volleyball lives. That said, if a team needed a left tackle and he's still working out, I could see him getting a phone call. Right? He's not as old as Andrew Whitworth. Now, I don't know what he would say if he got that phone call, but if I was a team, I'd at least inquire if I had some sort of major problem at left tackle. That was my opinion.
So I didn't make this up out of thin air.
It's largely out of helium.
It
was Craig Karmazin who asked if the Steelers, I believe he said the words, if the Steelers call. He's the host of the show.
Juicy. Wow. Okay, that's extra juicy. I like that.
Can I blame Craig for messing up Tausch's free agent game?
We still haven't heard who you're voting for. You got all these calls
gearing
and
up for
texts.
it.
I'm going with Rodgers as well. I also
big surprise there.
Why?
Because you played with Rodgers, you didn't play with Giannis.
Why is that a big surprise there? I never played with Giannis.
That's what I said.
Yeah, I just think the length of run and the MVPs puts him over the top for me. The MVPs is what put him over the top. The Bucks winning a championship, it's more Favrean because it took forever to get another one. Obviously, it took 50 years, and Giannis led us to one. But you do feel like both have left a little meat on the bone. That happens.
844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Now that Tausch has officially voted after gearing up to do so, we want to hear from you. 844-770-3776. That's the Carbless Talk and Text line. We will hear from you next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
The search for luxury begins at Audi Madison. Save $5,500 when you purchase or lease a new 2025 Audi Q7 55. National customer credit is good toward the purchase, finance, or lease of a new Audi, but is only available until June 30th. Why drive something ordinary when you can drive something extraordinary? Stop in and test drive today. Check out AudiMadison.com to see current inventory and specials. Start your adventure at Audi Madison today, off the Beltline and Rimrock Road.
Summer is here, and there's no better way to celebrate than with Door County Distillery. Hey, it's Alex Stroh. I've been telling you for years how great Door County Distillery is. Locally produced, handcrafted, and award-winning spirits made locally in beautiful Door County. The sun is shining, and so can the Rock Island Rum from Door County Distillery in your summertime cocktail. Otherwise, vodkas, gins, whiskeys, brandies, and more, it's all available from the award-winning Door County Distillery. Find a huge list of unique cocktail recipes and the retailer nearest you, DoorCountyDistillery.com. That's DoorCountyDistillery.com.
Hey, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network, and I've got a question for you. Is your home ready to shine this season? Whether it's roofing, siding, or windows, Ridgetop Exteriors is the name you can trust. For over 20 years, Ridgetop Exteriors has been Wisconsin's favorite for roofing, and they bring that same expertise to siding and windows. Imagine vibrant, low-maintenance siding and energy-efficient windows that brighten your home while cutting energy costs. Ridgetop Exteriors holds all expert-level installation credentials with the leading manufacturers, including Pella, James Hardy Fiber Cement Siding, and LP Smart Side Engineered Wood Siding. With thousands of 5-star reviews and a commitment to excellence, they're the clear choice for home improvement needs. Plus, consultations and estimates are always free, so there's no reason to wait. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com to schedule your free consultation. Ridgetop Exteriors, putting customers first every time.
Ridgetop Exteriors is the place for you.
This fall, there's only one place to be, Camp Randall Stadium. Wisconsin football returns with can't-miss matchups, including Maryland, Iowa, Washington, and more. From the first touchdown to jump around and the celebration of the fifth quarter. Experience the traditions and unforgettable memories that make Wisconsin football so special. Single-game tickets are now on sale. Lock in your spot today by visiting uwbadgers.com or call 1-800-GO-BADGERS. Wisconsin football game day starts here. We'll see you at Camp Randall.
Mark Toscher here for Pizza Hut. With kids, sports, summer vacations, and plenty of other things keeping us busy this time of year, it's hard to plan meals ahead of time. That's why Pizza Hut is hooking us up with the Hut Hookup. Spend $7.99 at Pizza Hut today, and you get a free large one-topping pizza later. You heard that right. Pizza now and more pizza later. Download the Pizza Hut app or order online today at pizzahut.com. The Hut Hookup, available now only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hey, Madison, this is Jim from Jim, Matt, and Molly. For the third year in a row, we've been nominated for Best of Madison Radio Team by Madison Magazine.
This year, we need your help to take home the gold in Best of Madison.
They say people like us, so show it and vote at madisonmagazine.com/BOM.
Voting is open now, so don't wait. Head to madisonmagazine.com/BOM.
That's madisonmagazine.com/BOM.
Thanks, Madison.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair, so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
This is Molly Brown from Jim, Matt, and Molly, a finalist for Best of Madison Radio Team. Help us take home the gold and vote for us every day at madisonmagazine.com/BOM.
All right. Let's get to a call. But I did notice a comment from James in the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube section. Why isn't the media as critical of the Bucks and Brewers as they are of the Packers? I'd like to get to that in the 11 o'clock hour, but I think you're right. Yep, I think that's exactly it.
Well, one of us tried firing the manager, according to some, a month ago.
And you've turned the whole whole blanket season around.
One time I was critical of the team. A fire started, and you're welcome, by the way.
I wonder what Pat Murphy would say to you and what colorful language he would use to do so. 844-770-3776. We should splice that video together with Jesse saying what he was saying. That'd be really good for social media, I think. Tell
Pablo.
Pablo.
A lot of hits.
Yeah, I think
Big
so too.
engagement.
Let's get to a call on the Carbless Talk and Text line, then we'll get some text as well. 844-770-3776. Rodgers versus Giannis is where we have landed today. Mike in Texas, good morning, buddy. Your thoughts on this?
Oh, good morning. Okay. So the first thing is, I think like in terms of 20 years from now, are we going to be still thinking about Giannis in some degree? And I'm sure Rodgers, as far as the NFL career, would definitely be revert, just in total. So I just don't see how you can pick Giannis. Giannis is kind of right now, granted his career is incomplete, is kind of the one and done. I mean, they haven't even got to the finals or conference finals that much. So, I mean, Rodgers and Giannis has a bigger impact on the court than Rodgers has when Rodgers got the defense to contend with. So it's got to be Rodgers.
Yeah, I don't know how the polling is going, Mike, but that was, despite the narrative, that I would vote for him no matter what. This feels based on where we stand now. But again, Rodgers had 18 seasons in Green Bay, 15 of them as the starter, right? Giannis obviously was a skinny kid from Greece early on, and then obviously morphed into the dominant player that he has become. First of all, I want Giannis to play his entire career in Milwaukee and see if once we get to the end of the line with him, we still feel this way. But right now it feels, pardon the pun, like a slam dunk for Rodgers.
I got that.
Jesse, thanks for the call, Mike. We appreciate you. Jesse, am I wrong? Like, how's the polling going?
So far, we've eclipsed 100 votes in the early goings here.
Can I predict?
Yes, of course. That's your favorite thing to do, yes.
Rodgers in a small, narrow margin.
As of this exact moment, it is 50-50.
What? Wow.
The unlikability factor coming into play, I think.
Well, I mean, literally everybody is unlikable versus Giannis.
That's fair.
Everybody.
That is fair. Tausch, since you were close in your prediction, what made you think that? And it's 50-50.
Because I think just on the numbers alone and the fact that this is more Packer-dominated, obviously, than Bucks, especially, as we sit here right now, that I think skews it back. And then I think the likability factor does play a small role. But I think Rodgers will win late in this whole deal once you start getting the different corridors coming in.
James and Beloit chimes in. Currently, Giannis is more accomplished by perception because of his accomplishments and accessibility, likability.
Likability, yes, James. I don't know if I could say Giannis is more accomplished than Aaron. I don't view it the same. I don't.
Yeah, I think it creates that perception, though. That's you can certainly make that argument. All right, we'll get to some more of your texts. We'll get some more of your thoughts on this. Trying to get back somewhere on the clock. Just like I was trying to get home in a timely manner from Carrie and Kevin's wedding. But, of course, we had to make a stop because Tausch wasn't driving. I was. And Sydney wanted to get a snack. And so where did we stop? Quick Trip.
What'd you get? What was the snack?
Sydney likes the smoothies from the smoothie machine. But
fresh blend.
Indeed, but instead we went for real this time, much
for
like
real?
Eleanor likes. For real.
Yeah,
I'm being real with you. It's great.
Okay, great deals going right now at Quick Trip. And are you ready to climb to the top? Well, gear up for Quick Trip's Mountain Dew Quick Climb. Every sip gets you closer to the summit, and now through August 17th. Play every day for free in the Quick Rewards app. You score bonus plays with every eligible item. $5,000 a week that keeps climbing. You're stacking higher and higher, higher and higher until the player reaches that top prize of $250,000.
What the heck
Have
is
some
that?
fun.
Terrible.
You never heard the song Get Higher? And it's a good tune. Check it out. Quick Trip's a good tune, too. Check that out. Bananas and jumbo onions, baking potatoes, 29 cents a pound. Nature's Touch, cream cheese, 2 for $4. And what is today? It's Monday. Oh, is today the day, Jesse? You do the little chicken tryout deal. Are we into it? I hope you are.
This is not the week because I'm going up to Beaver Dam this afternoon, so it's not the week that we're going to sit down and have dinner together tonight. But maybe next week is going to be our week before we go up north for the 4th.
Well, we grabbed our favorite pothole pizza, The Works, $7.99 right now. That's like stealing. Quick Trip gets it. Quick Trip is your one-stop for variety, quality, and fast service. Gas-free air, all of the great things. Download the app. Take advantage of everything that Quick Trip has to offer, and we'll see you next time.
I have no idea what that song was. None whatsoever.
I wanted to
you
search
get
it.
Higher and higher. You never heard that song?
Sabrina Carpenter?
No, it's not Sabrina. She's not.
Pink Pony
she's not
Club?
getting the same amount of airtime. That
Megan
song.
Maroney?
What is the number one song in the pop list
Sabrina
right now?
Carpenter just came out with a brand new song that I think
She's
is
not getting
number
the same
one.
play. Listen, man, I'm telling you, like Envious or something like that. It's that song, the number one song on the pop chart. It's maybe Envious or something
From
like
what
that.
I understand,
don't know.
Get Higher, Get Higher. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Matt Hamilton from Jim, Matt, and Molly, a finalist for Best of Madison Radio Team. Help us take home the gold and vote for us every day at madisonmagazine.com/BOM.
Morgan Wallen Live. I'm the Problem Tour 2025. Historic 2 consecutive shows at Camp Randall Stadium, Saturday, June 28th, and second show added June 29th with Miranda Lambert and Ella Langley. On sale now at uwbadgers.com.
I'ma need some whiskey glasses.
Morgan Wallen, Live 2025.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Steinhafels. Shop Steinhafels Summer Sale and get 10% off store-wide. Plus, if you use Steinhafels special financing, you'll get up to a $300 MasterCard, only at Steinhafels.
A court case that could shape the future of college athletics is upon us. As Friday afternoon, it was reported by Ross Dellinger of Yahoo Sports that the University of Wisconsin has officially filed a lawsuit against the University of Miami for tampering and eventually poaching cornerback Xavier Lucas, who is under contract with the Badgers. The case's timetable is still uncertain, but regardless, it's safe to say Wisconsin will be at the forefront of history.
What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Pella has a product line for every budget.
No interest and no payments for up to 2 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Madison School and Community Recreation's For Friends Golf Outing is Wednesday, July 23rd at the Oaks Golf Course. Hey, it's Jesse Nelson. New this year is the Laid Back Links Golf Clinic, an instructional golf clinic for beginners who would like to improve their golf game. Taught by the Oaks professional golf staff, this group lesson includes dinner and drinks, plus a chance to win prizes in the raffle and silent auction. Head to birdease.com/MSCR for more information and to register today. That's BIRDEASE.com/MSCR.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Every kid deserves a strong start, and that's the belief driving the Ingold Family Foundation. Founded by NFL fullback and Wisconsin native Alec Ingold, the foundation seeks to bring attention and financial support to the children within our nation's child welfare system. Inspired by the lessons learned in sports, their mission is to empower underserved youth through accessible and impactful learning experiences. They focus on financial, mental, and physical health to provide education, inspiration, and access to opportunity, helping young people achieve their dreams. Learn more and donate today at alecingold.com.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on June 24th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they take on the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh my goodness, third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tune in June 24th at 6:40 on WISC TV in Madison or check your local listings to watch the game.
When you're in the right place at the right time, things get done. The important things, like knowing what you need and how it all works. Talking truck. Fixing it right the first time. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, our people get it done right and now. That's how you know you're in the right place at the right time. And you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet.
This is our crew.
Struck him out with a changeup. That was filthy. 92 miles an hour for Jacob Mizorowski.
You're listening to Madison's new home for Milwaukee Brewers baseball. 100.5 ESPN.
You know how we opened the show with the bit about names? And I say to Tausch, you love your name so much, you don't even go by it. And then he says, I like Mark.
That's a pretty good line.
Mark. I like my name a lot. Is this the song you were thinking of?
Yes, it's higher. Get higher, friend. Higher. Okay. Yeah.
So this is Van Halen with Sammy Hagar.
Okay, this is the song. Yes.
Sarah, so behind the scenes, again, we would all be lost without Sarah. Sarah sends us...
Happy birthday.
From Ron and the Key. Sarah sends us Creed's higher. And I say in our private text chain to Tausch that what you did sounded nothing like Creed.
That wasn't it. Yeah.
And we appreciate Sarah trying to help us. And Tausch adopts this song as being an accurate depiction of what he was doing.
Jason, here's the deal. How many times have I told you guys? I love music. I love singing. I don't correlate. Oh, well, that's one of Van Halen. It's like that's not how my mind works. I enjoy music. I'm not interested in that's the 68 cover band, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know who sings what most times.
We know.
I just like singing. I like listening to music.
We know.
Okay.
You really just...
So you're getting after me because...
No, but...
You just kind of like making noise.
But while we understand how you're... Don't. Trust me, don't, Jesse. Someone suggests early in the show that maybe you're going to get a reputation for complaining about tournaments. It turns out to be a very harsh criticism that you didn't appreciate. So don't start,
I
Jesse.
did not. Not even a little bit.
Now, if I may.
Because it's not fair. If it's fair, I don't have a problem with it. That ain't fair.
I have never heard you praise the tournament that the Mallards ran on our airwaves.
Still waiting to hear about that.
But I can assure you, hold up. I can assure you could check last year's tape when it rained. What Sun Prairie? I praised the tournament directors. I praised. Hold up a second. Now that you're going to go down this road again,
I'm not.
I praised
no one went
the
down
group down in Menominee Falls. No, I praised them. We rescheduled and played 2 more games. They were fantastic. I have praised numerous tournament directors. Numerous.
You are. Hallelujah, brother. You praise all the time. Now, we understand how your brain works for me, many, many years around you. And Jesse now has been the producer for a very long time.
Many, many car rides.
But the challenge is understanding how your brain works, but then still trying to articulate to our fans and discern what it was you were talking about. And Jesse, kudos to you for figuring that out. Bravo. Because I'm thinking, can you take me higher? Which is obviously Creed. This sounds nothing like the Creed song. There's Steve Winwood. Bring me a higher love.
That wasn't
it. That's not it. Higher, very often used in songs. You nailed it. So the functionality of Wilde and Tausch around how your brain works, this is the challenge that Jesse and I face, and Jesse knocked it out of the park.
Good
Some
job,
might say
Jesse.
He hit it higher than I would have even expected.
Thank you.
So well done. Van Halen from the album 5150 for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. Which album is that? Anyway,
we don't pay
great
attention
job.
to that stuff around here.
Be that as it may. We're going to move on. But we've got the right song. Before we put a bow on this and kick off the 11 o'clock hour, which will include trivia and Whoa Nelly, Don in Mayville. With Giannis being such a poor free throw shooter, he has to be paired with an equally great player for the Bucks to contend for another title. So far, Lillard has not been that right player. The hot potato reference that you often make from that playoff moment a few years back. Is this accurate and fair from Don in Mayville? Tausch.
I don't know about the Lillard. We haven't really gotten to see it yet, so I don't know.
So far, he has not been the player, though.
Well, I agree, but I mean, injuries are a blank, as we know, and
unfortunate
I'd like to see
circumstance.
This thing play. I'd like to see that play out a little bit before But yeah, Don's right. If I had to make that clarification right now, I can't argue with him as much as I'd like to.
Well, we will move on from this. We'll check in with the poll question before we go at the end of the program. But we will kick off the 11 o'clock hour. We'll do it in 2 minutes after I tell you about Associated Bank. We got a fun thing planned for family night. Still working out the details, but I'm going to be there. We're going to be at Titletown. I'm really excited about it. We're looking forward to that. And I'm always looking forward to seeing my guy Ben Sorensen when I go to the downtown Green Bay location, because I know I'm going to get great customer service. But not just me, everyone that goes to Associated Bank gets that, because that's what Associated Bank is known for. In addition, they have Packers checking, Brewers checking, and Badgers checking, so you can show your team colors with your checking account and your debit card. But most importantly, they take great care of their customers. Early pay, credit monitoring, fraud protection, everything you could possibly need. They've got it, and they make sure your money is safe. So go to AssociatedBank.com to find out more. The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch starts in 2 minutes, so stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
It's heating up at Metro Kia of Madison with their summer sticker sales event. Drive home the all-new 2025 Kia Sportage with 1.9% APR for 60 months, $1,748 cost per thousand finance. Hurry, this offer ends June 30th. Plus, if you own a current Kia EV or PHEV, you may qualify for an extra $1,000 loyalty bonus toward a 2025 EV6 or 2026 EV9. These sizzling deals won't last. Offers end July 7th. Head to Metro Kia of Madison today or browse their inventory at metrokiaofmadison.com.
This is Derek Engler. You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by the new ESPN Wisconsin app. Listen live and on demand to all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin shows at the touch of a fingertip. Your state, your teams, your ESPN. Download the all-new ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple and Android app stores today. The Milwaukee Brewers, red hot, winners of 4 straight games, a season-high watermark, 8 games over 500, 3.5 back entering play today of the first-place Chicago Cubs in the National League Central Division standings. That's thanks to sweeping the Minnesota Twins for the first time on the road since 1988 in a 3-game series. It included a 9-8 victory in the finale on Sunday afternoon. The two teams combined Sunday for 35 hits, the most in a single game in the MLB season so far this year. The Brewers outscoring the Twins 35-14 in the 3-game series. And a chance for the Brewers to pad more wins this week. Two of the worst teams in baseball. Part of this homestand at American Family Field starting tonight. The Pittsburgh Pirates come to town, 6:40 first pitch. Pre-game coverage starts just after 6 following Jim, Matt, and Molly on 100.5 ESPN.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. Hey, remember that NFC North roundtable that we talked about last week? That Domofsky and Cronin, Woodyard, and Seifert did? Remember that? Remember?
Yes, sir. Yep, I do. By the way, that song I was thinking of that Rob Vogel just said, no, it was Sabrina. No, it wasn't Sabrina Carpenter. That was the top of the pop list yesterday. It was Anxiety. I think I said Jealousy. It was Anxiety.
Oh, I hate that song.
I don't like it either. Give me Sabrina over that. Or Billie Eilish over that. But, I don't love the song Anxiety. I'm not a fan.
I'm not familiar with that one. I'll take your word for it. Well, Jesse, we did that. We did a lot of different topics from that conversation. But one that we didn't get to was picking an unheralded player or unit that will impact the NFC North title. And it led to a discussion because I don't think we ever actually got into it. You asked a question when it was brought up, and then I know this comes as a surprise to a lot of people, and I don't think it was about complaining about any sort of tournaments. But we got sidetracked.
Definitely was not.
And we never
praising
actually
how well
about
the Mallards tournament was run.
It definitely wasn't that, because the first I've heard of it was today. But Tausch asked a great question that we also never answered that.
Yeah, okay. So in the article, it says, name an unheralded player or unit that will impact the division title in 2025. Courtney Cronin said the Vikings offensive line, unheralded unit that will impact the division race. Rob Domovsky says the Bears offensive line. So he thinks that's the most unheralded unit that'll impact things. Kevin Seifert says whoever starts at center for the Lions.
Yeah, Ragnow retiring,
And Eric Woodyard said one of those guys, Tate Ratledge, who was their second-round draft pick, who they think will be replacing Ragnow. So nobody picked anyone on the Green Bay Packers as an unheralded player or unit that will impact the division race.
Yes, which I don't care about that. I don't care about that. I think that's by Sabrina Carpenter, too. No, but what I care about is the subsequent question that you asked.
Why do we go back and break down that Thursday last minicamp practice again? Since you don't care about it.
You're right.
Hey, Jason, what's going on? Hey, Jason. Jason, anybody showing out at minicamp? Nah. It's a total waste of time. I don't even know what the hell they're doing out here.
They set something up and didn't do anything with it. Now
they're doing something. And everybody just left. All right. Thanks for that might win an Emmy. That broadcast thing. All right, continue.
Right, I should make stuff up instead about how accurate people are.
Best on-site reporting for the Wisconsin Broadcasters Awards.
Who's showing up? Nobody. Oh, my eyes hurt.
Murphy's out there.
Oh, God. Well, what about that left guard that's filling in? No, he didn't even bring his name up. Coach don't even know his name.
Didn't even know he was
really,
out there.
Hey, Jason, if you'd let me finish, that was really good. Like that told me a lot. I'm like, oh, maybe this cat's going to be in the mix. What did LaFleur have to say? Well, actually, they didn't even know the guy's blanking name. Yeah, that's not good. It's not good. Who was that
Almost
again?
as if that was insight. Donovan Jennings is his name. So at least
that was on Wednesday. In fairness, that was Wednesday, not Thursday. The Wednesday stuff was fine. Your Thursday stuff was legendary.
They didn't do a single full-speed drill.
That's amazing.
The guy made a 58-yard field goal, and so they just said, okay, we're done for the offseason. Talking about how we don't have enough time to get work done, and it's been truncated already, so let's shorten it up by another half hour. You're right.
It's an odd deal.
McManus is ready to go, though.
Yeah, he's strong. Strong leg.
Tausch's great question was not about, what unheralded player or position group were going to make a difference in the title. It was how many Packers players are currently heralded on their roster.
That is a good question.
It's a great question.
Really good question.
Such a good question.
And now it's time for trivia. Who are the heralded?
If you're setting it, Jason, if you're setting an over-under on how many heralded, and I'm not saying like all NFL, just heralded guys that average NFL fans would know, not fantasy geeks, like well-educated NFL fans. How many heralded guys do we got?
So where do you put Jordan Love on this? Do you believe him to be heralded?
I mean,
there's people ranking him 12th in the league.
He is known, but is he heralded? mean, he's right on the line of demarcation of herald versus unheralded.
So that
what's the
affects your
midpoint of a
line
herald
of
versus an
over-
unheralded?
Known.
What's the
known? Because I think a lot of people know who he is. And look, he was being heralded at the end of the 23 season, no doubt about that, right? If you were an NFL fan, you watched him dice up the Cowboys. You watched him
all right,
be really
he's heralded.
good.
I'm going to go heralded.
It's a
I don't know
close
what
call.
you're going to go with.
It's a close
I would
call.
agree.
That said, Josh Jacobs.
Yep.
Xavier McKinney.
Yep. 2 heralds.
And then what? Like, I love Tucker Kraft. I don't think he's heralded yet.
He's not heralded yet.
No.
I mean,
Any
I
of the
remember.
wide
I think
receivers
Jared Allen was
heralded?
on with Jared Allen was on with Jim, Matt, and Molly not that long ago, and he didn't even know who the heck Tucker Kraft was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Who on defense? They don't have Jair Alexander
Is Kenny
anymore.
Clark a heralder?
Can a defensive tackle who's not like Aaron Donald or Warren Sapp be truly heralded?
Is Rashawn Gary heralded?
No.
He's a Pro Bowler.
He's elite.
One of the highest paid.
I was told he was
He's one of the
elite.
highest paid. He's one of the highest paid guys. Top 10 highest paid. They're not heralded.
I don't think being heralded has anything to do with how much you're getting paid.
No, it does.
Because heralded is all about like critical acclaim and recognition across the league.
And paid. I think you can make a really good argument. I mean, there's some guys that
2.5.
This is where I think we have a hard time because we're so close to it and cover it so well and just dive into the great pool of details
Except on Thursday.
that we do. Except if you would stop stepping on my lines. Except for the Thursday weekend.
I'm sorry. Did I ruin that for you? I'm so sorry.
You did. You did. I think you can make a really good argument that you set the number at 3, and if you went under, I think you'd probably win. If you went 3.5, you're winning. Because Elton
And went
Jenkins
under.
is the other guy that I'm thinking of because he's been to some Pro Bowls. I think he's, in my eyes, he's more than heralded, but I'm looking at this from a how many alumni or how many people that are in the football world that aren't Packers would say, yep, that's a dog. That is a guy. And I don't know if Elton Jenkins, with some of the injury stuff, I don't know if people look at him the same way that I do or that, a Bulaga or other, Packer people would do. I don't know the answer to that. Wide receivers, they don't have anybody that's heralded. There's a lot of guys that are hopefully going to be heralded.
Yeah, they don't even have anybody who's had a 1,000-yard season.
I know.
2
heralded cats? Is that where we're at?
2.5, right? We're putting the quarterback on the cut line.
Quarterbacks, most guys can name every quarterback in the NFL. Probably 28 out of 32. You can name.
Sure. Okay.
That doesn't mean you're heralded.
No, it doesn't.
I don't even know can we find what the definition of heralded is? I don't even know if that's a word. I've
Hark
been
the
saying
Herald
heralded
Angels
50
Sing.
times.
I did look it up
By
because
Van Halen.
I had a feeling you were going to
Atta babe.
ask.
Atta babe.
Being
it's because
way to
we
be a
know how
step
your
ahead,
brain
Jesse.
works.
critically acclaimed and recognized, heralded.
That's why you said critically acclaimed before.
I did, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So now that we know the definition, is Jordan Love
Jordan Love's
heralded?
not critically acclaimed. He never even been to a
Yep.
Pro Bowl.
I'm
We're
gonna
at
say
2.
no.
We're at 2 blanket heralds. That's what we got.
Hark the heralded Packers sing. We need more stars on this thing. Well, I'm
or you could have
sure
went
that
team. That rhymed too.
Higher.
easy to criticize when you know so much about music. Tausch, speaking of people that are heralded, I'm sure in the halls of American Family Insurance, both you, being the great brand ambassador you are, and Jordan Love, being a great brand ambassador, are very much heralded.
Well, I cannot wait. You talk about American Family Insurance all the time. Proud partner of Wilde and Tausch from the jump, but what they do in the community, golf outings, and you just go anywhere and you see American Family Insurance, and I am excited. Friday night, the Amphitheater. What do we call it? The Amphitheater? The Amphitheater? And you know what we're calling
the
it?
Mallards
Down at
Tournament.
Summerfest? I am excited for the Killers, and for almost 100 years, American Family Insurance, they have been committed to making life better in our communities with the right home and auto protection. All so you're free to enjoy your dreams. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com.
We need to play some trivia. Jesse, what hath been the category, and which color would you prefer?
The Brewers play the Pirates tonight.
Oh, crap.
Oh, God.
But we're not doing it today. The Sports Weekend
it's a
recap. Sports Weekend recap today.
Good. I think Wednesday might be the most heralded regular season Brewers game this century. Century.
Too far.
What's better?
The finale of 2008
What has been more
with
heralded?
CeCe Sabathia on the mound against the Cubs with a chance to clinch their first playoff berth in 26 years.
And you wearing his pants?
I said heralded, not most important game. This is going to get more attention. This is going to be the most heralded, is what I said. We just did a whole section on heralded.
Yeah.
Tell me a game that's going to be more heralded in the 21st century than what's going to happen Wednesday afternoon.
For those of you that don't know,
I can't wait.
Livy Dunn's boyfriend is taking on The Miz.
What
is that? How he's being referred to as Livy Dunn's boyfriend?
That was for you. That was for you.
But is that how he's referred
Skeenus,
to?
as you like to call him.
Paul Skeens.
Paul Skeens.
Yeah.
Caller 12, 844-770-3776.
Caller 12. I have been more intrigued since Jesse called Pat Murphy's job and we went down and did our remote. I have been more engaged with Brewers than I've been in probably 10 years. And I don't know why, but I have been.
Nobody beats The Miz.
The Twins sweeping the Twins, and now this the most heralded game this century coming up. Let's go.
How about this decade?
Regular season.
How about this decade?
No, this century.
How about in the 2020s?
No, this century. Well, the early 2000s was Stink City, USA.
They played a game 163 against
I
the
was
Cubs.
just going to say that.
For
that
the
was
one
totally
seed.
heralded.
Who pitched? You remember who pitched? Exactly.
Caller 12.
Shoot.
Caller 12.
Chassin, maybe?
Caller 12.
You're just throwing names out there.
Yoli Chassin. He threw Game 7 against the
Chassinas.
Dodgers.
Really tough word to spell. Tough first name to spell.
Caller
The
12,
silent J.
844-770-3776. We'll play trivia next. Oh, my God. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Zimbrick Honda and ESPN Madison present the Game Changers of the Month, recognizing the area's best high school sports stories about those who make a positive impact in their community. Here's Pablo Iglesias with Zimbrick Honda's Game Changers of the Month.
I am joined by a special guest, Dr. Joe Gothard, Superintendent of the Madison Metropolitan School District. Sport has always been your platform. You've used that. You were a coach at Madison La Follette. Your path has taken you so far. How do you still view yourself as a coach in your role today?
I think as far back as I can remember, some of my earliest memories of community and coming together and being part of something bigger than perhaps myself or family, are the teams that I played on as a kid. I step into many gymnasiums today and I tell the students I used to play here. But it's just always meant a lot to me. And I think it's something I want to give back.
Follow ESPN Madison on YouTube and on Facebook for more with the Game Changers of the Month, presented by Zimbrick Honda.
It's here. The You Pay When Employees Pay event at Metro Ford of Madison is on. For a limited time, enjoy employee pricing for all in-stock new Ford vehicles. Get behind the wheel of a 2024 Ford F-150 with 2.9% APR for 60 months, $17.92 cost per thousand finance. Plus, enjoy up to $2,000 of bonus cash. And yes, you can defer payments for 90 days with approved credit. Offer ends June 30th. Hurry to Metro Ford of Madison today and browse their inventory at metrofordofmadison.com.
Morgan Wallen Live. I'm the Problem Tour 2025. Historic 2 consecutive shows at Camp Randall Stadium, Saturday, June 28th, and second show added June 29th with Miranda Lambert and Ella Langley. On sale now at uwbadgers.com.
I'ma need some whiskey glasses.
Morgan Wallen, Live 2025.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Greg Scalzo here for Buck and Honeys. Congratulations to the perennial Best of Madison Award winner by the folks at Madison Magazine. Meet me at Buck and Honeys to celebrate Wisconsin hospitality. Whether you're enjoying the view on the Yahara River in Monona, exploring Wanakee, visiting the OG in Sun Prairie, or checking out the new location in Mount Horeb, you can enjoy the Buck and Honeys experience in a neighborhood near you. Serving lunch and dinner 7 days a week with brunch every Saturday and Sunday. I'll see you at Buck and Honeys.
Breaking news on ESPN Madison is presented by Metro Ford and Metro Kia of Madison. Find the Metro family of auto dealers online or see them in person on the east side of Madison today.
This fall, there's only one place to be, Camp Randall Stadium. Wisconsin football returns with can't-miss matchups, including Maryland, Iowa, Washington, and more. From the first touchdown to jump around and the celebration of the fifth quarter. Experience the traditions and unforgettable memories that make Wisconsin football so special. Single-game tickets are now on sale. Lock in your spot today by visiting uwbadgers.com or call 1-800-GO-BADGERS. Wisconsin football game day starts here. We'll see you at Camp Randall.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Every day is like a blank canvas. You know you can paint it any way you want it. You can draw a black cloud. You can make the sunshine color in a rainbow or use black and white.
Tausch, who is this and what's the name of the song?
No idea. Sounds Sabrina-ish to me.
In the Sabrina atmosphere, Demi Lovato.
Anxiety?
Not Anxiety. No, we're not
That's
playing
not
that.
Anxiety.
We're not playing that around here.
I don't like that song either. Can't believe it's at the top of Seacrest. Listen, boy, Seacrest still, that son of a gun's got a lot of jobs, doesn't he? He's like Anderson Cooper for music.
Let's play trivia.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia is brought to you by Vortex Golf. Rangefinders you can bet on.
Thanks
Still
to
not
Vortex
sure
Golf.
either need. I mean, I think either could just have one job and be content. I don't think we need him in 5 different things, but that's a whole other story. So, it's my own opinion.
What did they think of the Mallards tournament, though? Those guys
Did a nice job.
That's what I've heard.
You and Seacrest both like to play the hits.
It's not bad.
Okay.
Not bad. Let's play.
You get it? Because Seacrest has the countdown every week, and you like to continue to go back to saying Seacrest has too many jobs.
Let's welcome in our contestant. It is Jerry in
How
the
is that a
Prairie.
hit, though, for me? I don't understand that.
Never mind.
I didn't think that was what he meant. I thought because you coach baseball, there's a lot of hits. That was what I thought.
No,
he
didn't go baseball though.
I know.
Hits.
That's what I thought he was doing. Hi, Jerry. How are you today?
I'm well. How about you guys?
Fantastic. Thanks for asking.
We're okay.
Sounds like it.
All right. The category is the Sports Weekend Recap. Tausch, what is your participation level going to be?
Question 2 for me. I have question 2 all dialed up.
Awesome. Question 1 then, Jerry, is this. Which player led all scorers in Game 7 of the NBA Finals with 29 points last night and was named NBA Finals MVP? Was it Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, SGA, Pete Crow Armstrong, PCA, or the Radio Corporation of America, RCA?
That would be A.
Well, sometimes the first question is difficult, or at least you have to choose between two, unless you thought Pete Crow Armstrong was playing for the Oklahoma City Thunder. That one was a pretty easy one. Tausch, question 2.
All right. On Sunday, Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark became the fastest player in WNBA history.
Why are you talking so quietly?
We can't hear you.
To reach 400 of which of these individual stats for her career? Is it assists, made, three-pointers, or turnovers?
Okay. Well, it's going to be A or B. Let's go. Let's go. Made 3-pointers.
Tricky. It's tricky. Great question.
She might have turnovers. The way she's been playing, she's turning that pill over a lot.
The correct answer was assists. Assists.
Yes, it was.
You've been watching a
but
lot
I bet
of the
turnovers
W
are closer than made
The dub.
3-point shots. There's a lot of turnovers for CC.
Sabathia. You've got her shorts. All right, question 3 is this. Let's bounce back.
You're squirrely today. You need to. That's good. I like it when you're squirrely.
Only one player since the dawn of time has collected a major league hit, also in this century, has collected a major league hit off Brewers pitcher Jacob Misiorowski. It was a 2-run home run in the 7th inning on Friday night. Which Minnesota Twins player owns that historic hit? Is it Ty France, Matt Wallner, or Christian Vasquez?
I have no clue. We'll go with C.
Tough start to the week here.
Tough little run for you.
Oh, question 1 was too easy. Well, maybe Jerry needed it.
Clearly he did. Clearly he did. Correct answer, Wallner. Correct answer. All right, Jerry. We love your loyalty to the show. We don't love your performance today. You got one right.
Calling him out. I like that. Holding him accountable for his poor performance. I like that.
Yeah. Holding contestants and tournament directors accountable. It's Wilde and Tausch. Jerry, you got 2 entries in a Friday's drawing. We appreciate, buddy. Thanks.
Thanks. Love you guys.
I love you guys.
That is Wilde and Tausch Trivia. We've got Won't Nelly coming up, and we also have coming up on Thursday at the Orpheum, Made 'em Believe, the story of the 2015 Wisconsin basketball team, a reunion with Ben Brust as your master of ceremonies. It will be on Thursday night. We still have a handful of tickets available. We've even got one of those scannable code deals if you're watching on YouTube right now.
QR code.
Love a good QR code. Love this idea. It's been a decade. And Frank Kaminsky, Bo Ryan, Josh Gosser, Sam Decker, who I saw had an interesting tweet that pointed out last night that if Haliburton had not played because of this calf injury, that he would have been roundly criticized. And my thought was, I don't remember us criticizing Giannis for not playing. And this was what we were afraid of could have happened to Giannis had he played. And it was really smart that they didn't play him.
Sammy D would have been 100% right.
Yeah.
The guy played in Game 6 with that calf. It's Game 7, do or die. He's 100% right. The criticism would have been big time. Had he not played.
What if he hadn't played in Game 6? Or
maybe it's a different story, but I think there would have still been criticism of him for it.
Yeah, I think he's right. I just would have been nice. I feel bad for the guy. I'm not a huge fan of him or his dad, but I feel bad for what happened last night for sure.
What do you have against Sam Decker?
No.
What don't you like his dad for?
No, Haliburton.
What the hell are you talking about? What did he ever
Haliburton.
do to you?
I don't
I
like
thought you meant
Haliburton.
Sam Decker. I'm like, what the hell did Sam Decker
No, I
ever
like
do to you?
Sam, and I like his dad.
Okay,
They're
that's
both
what I
great.
thought.
Dairy Queen,
I was like,
Burger
God,
King
I
all
can't
over
keep-
again.
I can't keep up with all your grudges. Man, all of a sudden you're ripping Sam. Like, well, Sam's been great. He's on the show. He's been good. What the heck is going on around here?
Ice cream royalty. Yes, I love Sam Decker and his dad. And we're going to love the event at the Orpheum Theater on Thursday night. We still have a handful of tickets still available. So if you haven't gotten yours, go to uwhoops2015.com. That's uwhoops2015.com. That'll take you then over to Ticketmaster. You can order your tickets. It's going to be a great event. Again, it's Thursday at the Orpheum Theater. Whoa, Nelly is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, here's Jeff Levering.
Thanks, Gina Della from Pella. What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Every day is beautiful because Pella installs year-round during all seasons.
It's so hard to guess that next pitch. The customizations seem endless.
And it doesn't have to be super expensive. Pella has a product line for every budget.
And if it is time for a major upgrade, rest easy by scoring no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply on 6/30/2025.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, I mean, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Tracks.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
You love choices.
Like your choices with a Sweeto metal roof.
Choose standing seam or high-profile steel shingles that come in a variety of styles that last a lifetime.
Put a Sweeto metal roof on and take the worry off with choices.
I'm Mike.
And Mary Sweeto. Enjoy the long-lasting architectural strength and beauty of a Sweeto metal roof.
SWITA metalroofing.com.
Sweeto Metal Roofing, the last roof you'll ever need.
Madison School and Community Recreation's For Friends Golf Outing is Wednesday, July 23rd at the Oaks Golf Course. Hey, it's Jesse Nelson. Since 2003, the Friends of MSCR has raised over $630,000 to fund new programming, equipment, fee assistance, staff development, and more. You can support accessible recreation in Madison through sponsorship or by signing up for a foursome. Head to birdease.com/MSCR for more information and to register. That's BIRDEASE.com/MSCR.
This is Kyle Brusson Nortman's Brad Nortman.
You hear me talk about Carbless and their refreshing flavors all the time. One of my favorites is watermelon, and Carbless just dropped the Watermelon Vodka Cocktail 4-pack. Perfect for chilling, grilling, or game day thrills. You know the drill. Zero sugar, unlimited flavor. Enjoy clean, crisp refreshment without the guilt. That's what Carbless does. Find the new Watermelon 4-packs wherever you get your Carbless. Crack open the taste of summer and get your bliss on.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our friends at Road America, America's national park of speed. Get out of your house this summer and go to Road America, located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road circuit that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. The Cheese Capital Cup is next on June 27th through the 29th. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Come for the experience and stay for the race. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
This is our crew.
A drive, left center, deep. See you later. Caleb Durbin, turn out the lights.
You're listening to Madison's new home for Milwaukee Brewers baseball, 100.5 ESPN.
Higher. Time now for Whoa Nelly.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa Nelly
on Wilde and Tausch.
Tausch, I want you to choose the adventure here.
I like that.
You want to talk about Caleb Williams? You want to talk about golf? Or do you want to talk about the Miz?
Miz
Mania in full effect for Milwaukee Brewers fans.
Yes, indeed.
I'm glad that you picked the Miz.
What a bunch of cowards down there in Chicago. Oh, we don't want to face the Miz, so we're going to take the like cowardly cubbies.
Not the first time something like that's happened down there, where a brief rain delay turned into a very quick postponement, and they'd rather play it as part of a stretch where the Brewers have to play 18 games consecutively now in multiple days, as opposed to...
Sounds like they need that tournament director from the Mallards tournament to get that thing squared away.
But the Miz dazzled on Friday night to the point where we were up at the cabin up north, and they don't have...
Oh, the North Cabin.
They don't have...
How'd the meat raffle go?
We didn't make it
How'd
to
we do on the meat
It
raffle?
was too nice to go to the meat raffle. We were out in the lake on Saturday.
Too hot?
Yeah, too hot.
You didn't stay outside all day, did you?
A lot of Saturday we were out in the water. Yeah, we were out in the water on Saturday.
All right.
In the water or on the water?
Both actually, but in the water for a good portion of it. So Friday night we were sitting around, and I had the game up on my baby phone.
Oh, the baby!
Because I wasn't going to miss any of the Miz. So we're sitting around, we weren't getting ready for a fire. We were just sitting outside enjoying the evening.
After 6.
You would have been miserable.
That long inning should have rested him.
And it got through 3 innings, and someone said, "Do you guys want to?" Like I was telling everybody, like the Miz is he's now got a no-hitter through 8 innings of his MLB
Nobody
career. Like
beats
this is
the Miz,
incredible.
right?
Nobody hits him.
So we ended up we walked down the street over to the nearby bar that hosts the meat raffle, and me and my 2 brothers-in-law, we went over to the bar. We watched until the Miz was done pitching over at the bar. Because that's how must-see it was for them who are casual Brewers fans. So
Heralded, some would say.
Miz Mania is in full effect. The people in the bar were glued in when he was pitching. I've never seen anyone watch a Brewers game that intently the way that it was happening on Friday night.
It's fun, man. The Brewers are fun.
You're right. The Miz has captured Brewers fans. It is the real deal.
Jesse, I got a question for you. If I asked your brother-in-laws to describe you in 2 words, either of them or both, what would they say those 2 words would be?
I don't know.
That's 3 words.
No, that's me answering the question. I don't know what they would say.
Text Becca and find out what she thinks they would say, then ask them and bring us a report back tomorrow.
Not helpful would probably be 2 words that I would go with. Like, they did all the, they put the pier in, got a lot of that stuff done. Like, I didn't really help the way that they were helping with a lot of the
It sounds like you're freeloading on this cabin.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
a little freeloading?
This year, yeah.
Show up, eat, get meat raffle food, go home.
But in fairness, one of them moved away like the minute that I started dating Becca, and so he just got back. So he's got like 7 years to catch up to me in helping out up there. So I think I've earned a little bit of it.
Wait, you've been dating Becca and married to her for 7 years now?
More than that, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah. Been a minute.
God bless her.
3 years of marriage already, right? The 3rd year of marriage?
4th. We celebrated our 4th anniversary earlier this month. Yeah.
I don't remember much of that wedding.
No, you don't. The Miz.
What? So you're going to ask, will you ask Becca what's that? I'd love a report back.
Yeah, we'll report back tomorrow. I'll report back
But the
tomorrow.
Miz, bottom line is the Miz... He is bringing a lot of excitement.
Careful.
He's bringing a lot of excitement to what's going on.
Wait, that's not legal? Can't say that?
I would watch it.
What did he say? I missed it.
I can't tell you what he said if I think you can't say it.
Whoa, you don't think you can say that on the radio?
I don't know. When in doubt, leave it out.
Okay. I need a ruling from Josh. I feel like he knows the rules better than you do.
The Miz and Skeens go at it Wednesday afternoon. 1:10 first pitch.
It's on 100.5 here in Madison, too.
That's correct. Yes, you're right.
Whoa, Nelly!
All right, I'm going to give
Sorry for promoting. Oh, my bad, Jesse.
I'm going to give you one more since we're on the up north train. Since it was so hot, we were talking about going golfing, but we said we would have to get up and get out and start golf by like 7:30 either morning if we wanted to do it because it was going to be too hot during the day. How early is too early for you, Old T, to play a round of golf in the state of Wisconsin?
So now, I mean, back in the old days when I loved golf, it didn't matter if I was out having Coors Lights all night. I'd get up and go. I would rather play early and be done. And then get about my day. So you're not going to tell me there's a time too early. You said 5:30. Let's go play. I'm in.
What time does a golf course open?
Once the dew is off, you can't be golfing with a lot of dew.
Because you'll tear up the course.
No, the greens are too wet, and it's like you want it. I think 6:45 this time of year is probably about the earliest. That's of course Central Standard Time. That I think you're going to get people out.
So
I always love, though, when that is out, and then you get on the green, and someone had already putted, you get a good look at that line with that dew.
Mm-hmm.
Do.
Whoa, Nelly!
Great follow-up, Jason. That's almost as good as your Thursday minicamp report.
Oh, we're going to do that again.
Can we do the Caleb Williams topic?
Well,
now
we're too late because that's 45 seconds of audio and it's 11:51.
So we wasted on how early is too early to go golfing, and when there's somebody else who putted, you now have a better idea of the line. Because you left the mark in the dew.
I thought Tausch would have a better take, and I thought Jason might have a take. Silly
What
me.
exactly did you want me? What take did you want me to go with?
I thought you would say, 7:45. If I haven't done my hit with Vinny and the boys on WTMJ, it's too early to be out there playing golf.
How is that
That's how
better,
I envision this going in my head. And then I could say, I think you could go a little earlier than that. But yeah, you don't want to be like, you have a couple of Coors Lights out on the course and suddenly it's 10 a.m. and you're like, ooh, I'm feeling this already. And you haven't even, like, breakfast isn't even done in the clubhouse yet. That's too early.
Breakfast clubhouse, yeah.
We'll wrap things up on this roller coaster of a show. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
We're on the Bucks.
In the landscape of today's NBA,
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
why would you be loyal to an organization? None of your peers are.
Madison's home of the Bucks. 100.5 ESPN.
Mark Tosher here for Pizza Hut. And you know I've loved Pizza Hut since the days I was back in school participating in the legendary Book It program. Man, I remember thinking I was busy back then, but that was nothing to how much we have going on now. Between kids, sports, work commitments, days out on the golf course, and summer vacation, how's a guy like me supposed to plan a meal in advance? Well, thankfully, Pizza Hut has the perfect hookup for me and my family. It's the Hut Hookup. All you have to do, spend $7.99 at Pizza Hut, and you get a free large one-topping pizza later. Yes, you heard that right. Get pizza now and get more pizza later. Get your own Hut Hookup now. Download the Pizza Hut app to place your order or go online to pizzahut.com. The Hut Hookup, available now only at Pizza Hut. And remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Bruner Realty, providing excellent real estate and property management services in the Madison area for over 30 years. Contact their team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to get housed today.
A court case that could shape the future of college athletics is upon us. As Friday afternoon, it was reported by Ross Dellinger of Yahoo Sports that the University of Wisconsin has officially filed a lawsuit against the University of Miami for tampering and eventually poaching cornerback Xavier Lucas, who is under contract with the Badgers. The case's timetable is still uncertain, but regardless, it's safe to say Wisconsin will be at the forefront of history in this new era of college sports.
What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Pella has a product line for every budget.
No interest and no payments for up to 2 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Take your game to the next level with Vortex Golf. This employee-owned brand out of Wisconsin brings you premium rangefinders like the Blade, Blade Slope, and the Anarch, packed with features like image stabilization, pin spotter mode, and rock-solid accuracy. Backed by a legendary no-questions-asked VIP lifetime warranty and unmatched customer service, Vortex has you covered. Ready to upgrade your gear? Visit MapleHillGolf.com and search Vortex to see the full lineup. Vortex Golf, you can bet on it.
Bringing summer gatherings to the next level is just another thing we do at Celebrations Entertainment. Hi, it's Jeffrey. With rental items like sound equipment, photo booths, and even yard games, you can make your event the party that everyone talks about. Any event like graduation parties, block parties, or even a backyard barbecue can be elevated with fun, interactive items to make everyone ask, hey, how'd you pull this off? Just tell them celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
ESPN Madison is proud to partner with Mentoring Positives for our 3rd annual ESPN Madison Open. Mentoring Positives is a nonprofit based right here in Madison and is dedicated to uplifting youth and families through mentoring, athletics, and youth entrepreneurship. As a trusted presence in the community, Mentoring Positives has been helping young people build confidence, leadership, and purpose for 20 years. They're changing lives right here in our community. Visit mentoringpositives.org to make your impact today. That's mentoringpositives.org.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Celebrate the red, white, and blue at the Bridges. On Sunday, June 29th, play a 2-person scramble for just $120 per person, including 18 holes with a cart, prizes, and dinner. Find more details at golfthebridges.com today.
We're on the Badgers.
The schedule, as we all know, it's very challenging, daunting, however you want to describe it.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
He wants guys who want to jump at the opportunity to play against a schedule like that.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
got to wrap things up. Jesse, where did our poll ultimately land on Giannis versus Rodgers before we go? Because it was 50-50 the last we checked.
It's still very close. Today's poll, whose Wisconsin sports achievements do you hold in higher regard as their careers currently stand? Aaron Rodgers, 51% of the vote. Giannis, 49. That's over 250 votes in. Still a lot of game left.
It's closer than I thought it was going to be.
There to sing higher rather than just say it. I think that's a missed opportunity by you, Justin.
I'm sorry. I'll be better tomorrow.
That's good to hear.
And so will as many baseball and softball tournament directors as possible. Follow the lead of the good people at the Madison Mallards, who we've talked so much about. What a great job they did.
No, the ones down in Thiensville. Thiensville are the gold standard. They've been great.
Yeah, but if the Pirates beat the Brewers, they'll have to recall themselves Skeensville or Skeenisville. One or the other. All right, that's
Probably
it for
time.
us today. We will do it again tomorrow. Tausch, anything you'd like? Any parting words?
Just remember, Bucks championship. Make sure you wear those hats, wear those shirts, because the Pacers just proved how tough it is to win a chip.
Is that hat going to be available now as part of the hat giveaway that we never finished, or you're going to keep that one?
Potentially. Next time we do a little spring/fall clean out, yeah, probably.
Out of thin air off the top of my head.
We did bring back Yerp or Nerp, so you never know what make a comeback on Wilde and Tausch. That's it for us today. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch? Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial